professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Timberwolves hoping to avoid in the NBA's Western Conference Finals what happened to them in the previous round when they dropped their first 2 home games to Denver. Minnesota down 1-0 host Dallas in Game 2 tonight. Among the Wolves' need for improvement, Anthony Edwards, who had just 19 points in the opener. ESPN NBA analyst Monica McNutt.
Teams are absolutely gearing up for Ant as the guy. He is the one when it comes to Wolves, and so he has to make the necessary adjustments. I think there's room for him to take advantage of his shiftiness, his athleticism, and his explosion in terms of trying to get to the paint and then spraying if he has to a teammate.
Monica on Get Up, West Finals Game 2, 8 Eastern, ESPN Radio. Despite J.B. Bickerstaff's successes in 4+ seasons as Cavaliers coach, they felt like they reached their limit with him. President of Basketball Operations Kobe Altman said today the reason behind Bickerstaff's firing was that he believes they need a new leader. NHL's Eastern Conference Final back on the ice for Game 2 tonight for the Panthers and Rangers, 8 Eastern on ESPN and ESPN+. Florida leads that series 1-0.
Feeling great starts with a great shave, and great shaves start with Barbasol Shaving Cream. That's Barbasol Shaving Cream, an American classic for over 100 years. Close Shave America, Close Shave Barbasol.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios.
Let's ride.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
And Mr. Toby Tomplin. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Theriot here next hour, I promise. The NCAA has settled its lawsuit. Time to start paying the players beyond NIL. You know I got some thoughts on that. Let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
Oh, the drama. LSU got down big. They rallied back. They took a lead. Got down big again. They rallied back. They win the game. The game winner, of course, as you saw on the SEC Network, Michael Braswell III with the honors.
Change up. Fair ball. LSU takes the lead on a Michael Braswell single.
11-10, LSU would hang on, beat South Carolina, as you're seeing there on the SEC Network, seen and heard there on the SEC Network. Braswell against his former team after the game said it was the best baseball moment of his life. That is certainly a mouthful for that young man, but my goodness, what a moment for him. As LSU continues trucking along, the Tigers have now won 6 in a row. The sweep of Ole Miss, 3 in the SEC tournament now, and they chug along after that win. So Tigers have the day off today, as you well know. They practiced this morning in Hoover, and they'll play on Saturday against the winner of the game that is just starting right now with Kentucky and South Carolina. And I, for one, would like to thank very much Michael Braswell and the LSU Tigers for rallying, because had they not, LSU would be playing right now opposite the show, and I, for one, am very glad not to be head up against an LSU baseball game. So, yay. I want to dive into the game, but I want to begin at the end and then work our way back, because there were a lot of different things that I wanted to talk about. If you look at how LSU built its rally with 2 in the 8th and 2 in the 9th, saw a lot of this after the game, and it's not wrong to say, well, South Carolina kind of gave it away. And in the 8th inning, they did. There was a ground ball to third. Kid just took way too much time with the ball, ended up spiking it. Milazzo reaches on a throwing error. And then Pearson hits a roller to first and went right through the wickets. Guy Bucknered the ball. Happened. So LSU scored 2 runs right there, and we know they would come back and finish off the upset or the comeback with 2 in the 9th. And I want to talk about the 9th as well. But if you're only looking at that saying, yeah, man, South Carolina gave it away. Okay, let's talk about the South Carolina 3rd, where they put up a 5 spot. And Thatcher Hurd walked to and hit a guy. They got a double on an excuse me swing from Ethan Petrie that barely landed on the right field grass. In the box score, it looks like a double. But if you were watching it, you're going, you got to be kidding me. The 3 guys that LSU put on base in that inning all came around to score. Then, if you want to look at the other big inning, the 6th that South Carolina had, Christian Little had 2 outs and an 0-2 count, and he ends up hitting Jackson in the back of the leg on an 0-2 pitch. So now you've got Moscona coming up, who has hit every damn thing in this tournament, and of course he singles, and it's a 2-run single, and then they put together the big inning. So in many respects as well, South Carolina's big crooked number innings, LSU aided them a lot. So I really don't want to hear so much about South Carolina gave it away. The other thing, after LSU gagged that Friday game against Alabama, sat here and I told you over the course of 56 regular season games, 30 SEC games, you have such a large sample size that the breaks tend to even out. Yeah, games are going to go against you, but you're going to end up stealing games you probably don't have any business winning. And unfortunately for LSU in the regular season, that didn't happen. They blew game 2 against Florida. They blew game 1 against Alabama. They never really stole one at the end. That happened on Thursday night at the Hoover Met. Because, yeah, if Cassis fields the ball at first base on Pearson's grounder, Carolina's out of that inning, and they maintain their 3-run lead. And I don't know that LSU is going to come back and put up a 4 spot in the 9th. Maybe they do. But ultimately, a break went your way, and it was great to see. So we're going to look ahead a little bit as well as to what may happen on Saturday and potentially Sunday. But the story of the game as it was starting, of course, was Thatcher Hurd. And Thatcher Hurd struck out 5 in the first 2 innings, and then he imploded in the 3rd with 2 walks and a hit batter, and his day was over. I think what we probably know about Hurd at this point is what we've seen the last 2 outings, through 2 innings, really sharp. When an inning and 2/3 against Ole Miss was really sharp. For 2 innings against South Carolina, really sharp. Beyond 6 outs, I don't know that you can count on Thatcher Hurd at this point. But he has looked good for 2 innings the last couple outings. So maybe he's an opener for you. Maybe he's a guy you can go to out of the bullpen to get you 6 outs in the middle of a game. Maybe he's a guy you can go to get you the last 3 outs. I don't know where that's going to stand by the end of the season when Jay decides to go back to him. But he was sharp for 2 innings. It was really good for 2 innings. The other thing that, to me, was the biggest takeaway, not only of this game, but I think it's been representative of this run that LSU has been on. And it's what's happened offensively. For so much of this season, it felt like the offense just stood around and waited for Tommy White or Jared Jones to save them. You were just waiting for those guys to make the play to get the hit. And it's a big part of why you scuffled offensively throughout the season. You didn't develop a lot of consistency. Yesterday, Tommy White was 0 for 6. Jared Jones was 1 for 4. Now, the one was the solo homer. And Jones did walk as well, though. But I looked at the 6, 7, 8 in the lineup. Stephen Milam, freshman, 4 for 5 with 2 RBI. Jake Brown, freshman, 3 for 5, 2 RBI. Of course, the 2-run homer that tied the game in the 4th. Ashton Larson. Now, Larson went 0 for 5, but he missed a double down the left field line by an eyelash, and in the 9th, missed a homer by a 1/4 inch off the bat. against a guy throwing 72 miles an hour. My point is, even on a day when Tommy White goes 0 for 6 and Ashton Larson goes 0 for 5, and those have been your two, along with Braswell, been your three best offensive guys in the second half of SEC play. On a day where those guys give you when White and Larson gave you a bagel, you still put up 11 runs on 13 hits. Now, yes, it is fair to say LSU has yet to face an ace or even a weekend starter in this tournament. They've gone against 3 teams, and all 3 teams essentially had a bullpen day. Whoever you face in the 2-3 matchup in whatever regional you're in, and then whoever you face, what I hope and presume will be in the marble game of that regional, you're going to be facing someone's best. And that is going to be a dramatically different challenge than what you faced the last 3 days in Hoover. And we'll see who wins the game right now with South Carolina and Kentucky to see what you may face on Saturday and potentially on Sunday. But all that notwithstanding, the fact that you are getting production throughout your lineup instead of just solely relying on Tommy White to bail you out is one of the biggest reasons, along with your 1-2 punch with your co-aces, Jump and Holman, to think, yeah, this team actually has a run in them. It's been so much fun to watch these past couple of weeks. It is just an incredibly fun time of year when the team that you cheer for or cover is playing meaningful baseball. Because tournament baseball is fun. It is dramatic, and you saw that last night. And it was also good to see that we could get a game at the Hoover Met that actually started at like 11 o'clock at night. That feels way more normal to have an SEC tournament to go like past 1 a.m. Yes, that feels normal. So in any event, Tigers win. Some of the updated regional projections are out. We'll get to that here at the bottom of the hour. And I want to dive deep into that. We'll get Theriot's thoughts on everything that's going on when he's in here as well. But LSU at this point, like we've said, we know firmly in the tournament now. It's just a matter of seeding. Can you jump onto the 2 line? Where are you going to be sent for a regional? What regional will you be paired with if you get out of it? Where are you going for a super? Those are the kinds of questions we're having now, which is dramatically different. Because when you started the Ole Miss weekend, after losing that series to Bama, you knew you had to sweep to get to 13. Not only did they do that, they've now won 3 games in Hoover, 6 consecutive games. The resume is a no-doubter, and now you're talking about a 2 seed. Just an incredible time to get hot at the right time, and they're doing it. It was a fun win last night to see LSU pull it out against South Carolina. So, Tigers will play on Saturday against the winner of Kentucky-South Carolina, which is in the first inning right now. Should they win, they'd move on to the championship game against a to-be-determined opponent. All right, it's After Further Review. Show up and brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy in Louisiana with the great taste of Bud Light. Y'all, next Thursday, got 6 more days. Next Thursday, we're announcing the winner for our UFC Watch Party VIP giveaway. Again, Saturday, June the 1st, over at the Sportsbook at L'Auberge. We'll be there watching UFC 302 on the big screen, completely open to the public. Y'all come out, make plans to be there. But remember, our VIP giveaway, courtesy of Bud Light and L'Auberge. 8 lucky winners and their 2 guests, so 24 people total. 8 winners, and each winner gets to bring 2 guests. You'll have free food, you'll have all the Bud Light you can drink, and a front row table seat for the fights on the big screen there at the Sportsbook at L'Auberge. I'll be there. A lot of our staff will be there. We're looking forward to it. If you want to enter, it's free to enter. All you have to do is text the word Diamond. That's Dustin Poirier's nickname. Text the word Diamond to our show text line, the 225-396-4400, 396-4400. 396-4400. You can only enter once. So if you've texted me, I've got it. It's all logged. You don't need to text me again. Of course, Dustin Poirier, an endorser now of Bud Light, the official beer of the UFC, the official beer of AFR. We're thrilled to be able to bring this together with our friends at the Sportsbook at L'Auberge, Mockler Beverage, and Bud Light. Drink easy with the official beer of the UFC, Bud Light. Okay, quick break. Colleges can now pay players. We're talking about it next. It's AFR.
AFR.
Buying or selling commercial or residential. You need a realtor. You need Darren James. Y'all, we're heading into Memorial Day weekend. A lot of people get out of town for Memorial Day weekend. Man, a lot of people aren't thinking about buying or selling a home right now as you're moving toward the holiday, the end of the school year. But I'm telling you, beat the rush. Beat the rush. You need to call Darren James. 335-7666. 335-7666 or agent225.com, agent225.com. I love sharing client reviews when we get them, and this is maybe the most simplistic but the best one. Bruce Fusel sent this 5-star review for Darren James and Associates, brokered by LPT Realty. Everybody did a great job! Exclamation point. 5-star. That was the Google review. You know what? When everybody does a great job, you're going to have a great experience, and that's the reality at Darren James. Buying or selling, you need a realtor. You need the best. You need Darren James. Agent225.com. Agent225.com.
Think real estate. Think Darren James.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Power up your next project with John Deere Deals by Sunshine. Whether you're working hard or playing hard, our knowledgeable team will help you find the right product for you. Ask us about our amazing tractor package promotions. Learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
It is an absolute landmark day in the history of intercollegiate athletics, a day that will shape and reshape how we know and what we feel about college athletics and how they function forever. That is not hyperbole. Today, the NCAA and the House settled their lawsuit, and effectively, the NCAA has agreed, yes, colleges and universities can now pay their student athletes in a revenue share. Now, I'm going to talk about this in a way that I know a lot of you disagree. That's okay. But I'm going to talk about this in a manner that I want to be on the record so that I can be, when we look back in a year or 5 years or 10 years, whatever it is, you'll look back and say, and now I'm on the record saying this because I'm going to be right about it. Because I've been telling you this for years. And I've been telling you for the last year, I've had firsthand conversation with administrators that had already begun working on how they would manage their budgetary process in the not only possibility, but inevitability of a revenue share. There's something that I bumped across earlier today that I thought was fascinating. So this is going to be let me give you the overarching principle here. Effectively, what's going to happen now, and Ross Dellinger was here yesterday, I thought did a great job explaining all of this. The settlement is going to pay out $2.8 billion to student athletes from 2016 through the present day. There's a metric that they're putting together to determine what student athletes get how much, effectively. So, and it'll be paid out over 10 years. So the hypothetical that Ross gave us, let's say someone like Trevor Lawrence gets $500K. Well, he'll get $50K a year for 10 years to match his $500K. And obviously someone like Trevor Lawrence would get more than someone who is a non-revenue sport athlete. For example, like if you're a volleyball player at Southeastern, for example, you're going to get paid. It's just not going to be what Trevor Lawrence got paid. So I'm fired up about this. And I want to be very clear because I know there's the whole amateurism is dead and they're ruining college athletes. Let me be very, very abundantly clear about this. And then I'm going to get to the points that I want to make about how this is going to move forward. Too many adults look at this process and you're blaming the kids. You're blaming the student athletes. Too many of you. Oh, they're greedy. Isn't a college education enough? Sure, it was enough. Education, tuition, room, board, it was enough until the adults in the room got greedy. That's the problem. When every TV deal started adding zeros on the end, and you start adding games to the regular season in college football, why? Not for competitive balance. Do you really want to see LSU play nickels? Why did you do that? It's a money grab. Oh, we're going to go play these neutral site games. Why? Money grab. Oh, we're going to expand the playoff. Why? Money grab. Everything is about money. The adults in the room figured out a way to monetize and scale college sports, primarily football and men's basketball, in a way that it hadn't previously. And so what happened? Everybody got stupid rich. Coaches are making $10 million a year, $100 million contracts. You're paying coaches $75 million not to work. You got ADs making seven figures. Everybody's getting rich, except the free labor. And you're going to say, well, isn't tuition and a room and board? Yes, it was enough when it really was about amateurism, when it really was about the ideals of college athletes. It ain't been that in at least a quarter century, probably longer. The adults in the room decided they had a way to all line their pockets. I say it all the time about bowl games. Why do we have bowl games? Somebody tell me, why do we have bowl games? Why can you look at a bowl game that has 100 people in the stands, but they keep playing that bowl game? Why do we keep adding more? As players opt out, we keep adding more bowl games. Why? Why? Because the adults in the room figured out how to make money. Sponsorship, TV deal, boom. Bottom line, we wear ugly blazers. We get to gallivant across the country. We make money. And you know what the player said? Bleep your Popeyes Bahamas Bowl. Jerk. I'm going to the league. I'm not risking injury for this. And I don't blame him. Team play. And you know what every adult comes back with? It's always the intangible. Team player, quitter, you abandoned your... Oh, really? Really? So you mean to tell me that a guy like Jaden Daniels, who just signed a $30 million contract, should have, in the name of being a team player, gone and risked a $30 million deal that's a month away to play in the ReliaQuest Bowl in front of 20,000 people in Tampa? Bleep you. No logical human would ever think to do that. Nobody would advise. You would advise your kid to do that. It's holier than thou adults that are romantic about the way things used to be, and you can't understand the adults are the one that screwed this whole thing up. So yeah, I'm pumped about a day like today because the adults are the one that made this mess, and now the adults have to find a way to fix it. All right, here's what most people don't understand about how college sports plays out. This was a great tweet from a guy named John Arnold. I have no idea who he is. His Twitter is @JohnArnold Foundation. I don't know anything about him, his foundation, but the tweet is completely legitimate, and he spells it out very properly. He writes, Rutgers lost $54 million on college sports last year. UConn lost $30 million. UCF and Houston lost $40 million. Athletics is a money pit for all but a couple dozen schools, with the median losing $16 million a year. The settlement with college athletes adds another $20 million expense. Growing TV money will not solve the problem. Expenses always climb faster than revenues, meaning the rising expenses aren't going to wipe away your deficit. The way you're operating right now, you're not going to make enough to overcome that. So the only thing to do is you're going to have to scale back your spending. Anyway, he goes on. Every pro league has robust cost containment provisions, like a salary cap, to make them sustainable. History shows without them, the pressure to spend is too great. He talks about tuition and fees and all that stuff, but he goes on. College sports is the ultimate zero-sum competition. Only one school wins the championship each year. Half will have a losing record. Universities must use this settlement as a catalyst to install fiscal discipline into the system. Yes. He's got a graph there as well. Look, if you're watching, you'll see it. There's the graph that shows you. The green is how much they spend. The blue is how much they make. And I understand if you're driving, you're listening to this, you're not watching, just understand the green is always higher than the blue. They always spend more than they make. University athletic departments lose money except for the couple dozen that break even. Okay, so now that you're going to add a $20 million annual expense to pay your student athletes, how do you fix this? Well, you're going to have to get fiscally responsible. Just like if you're the head of a household, you have to budget. You got to pay your mortgage. You got to keep the lights on. You got to make sure you keep the water on. You got to feed your family. You got to clothe your family. Those are your absolute must expenses. And whatever you have left over, you can decide what you want to put into savings. You can decide if you want to go on a vacation. You can decide if you want to go to a fancy dinner or whatever. And there are different tiers. But in the same way that a head of household, you and me, have to be fiscally responsible because we owe it to our home, we owe it to our family, these administrators now have to do the same thing. Oh, LSU is going to generate $100+ million in revenue next year, but they're not going to be able to spend all of that the way that they have. And it ain't just LSU, it's going to be everybody. And what does that mean? It's going to mean a reduction in expenses. It's going to mean maybe you don't fly. Maybe the golf team doesn't fly private. Maybe when track and field goes to a meet, they bus and they stay at a Holiday Inn instead of at the Westin. Maybe that's what it's going to mean. Travel budget, all those expenses. People, you're going to cut people. Who are the necessary people to make this thing function? And the biggest, coaches' salaries. Will we get to a point where the dramatic escalation of coaches' salaries actually starts to level off and potentially decline? I don't know if that's real. I don't know if that actually can happen. Certainly not in football and men's basketball. In the other sports, maybe. What most people don't understand is that there are only two sports that make money. Football, men's basketball. That's it. They fund the whole thing. Football and men's basketball fund everything. Everything else loses money. And where we are headed eventually, and this is where I want to be on the record because I believe that historically I'm going to be correct in saying this. Where we are headed eventually, and I've been saying this forever, college football is going to consolidate. Eventually, you are going to have one college football. It's not going to be at all under the jurisdiction of the NCAA. The powers that be are going to get together, and you're just going to have college football. And they're going to do one TV deal like the NFL has one TV deal, right? The NFC South doesn't have its own TV deal. The NFL has a TV deal. Eventually, it's going to be an invite-only or a buy-in system, and that's how it's going to go for college football. They're going to break away, and their revenue is going to be completely separate, which means men's basketball is going to fund the whole thing, or remaining sports will have to be self-sufficient, which means sell your tickets, do your car washes and bake sales, and that's what you get. Whatever you get to eat what you kill. You raise money, you get to have an athletic department, you get to have a program, or those sports go away. And I think that is also an inevitability. College football will move, it will be its own entity, and what is eventually going to happen in part of these cuts is that there are college athletic departments that are going to cut non-revenue sports. The biggest question of this is Title IX, because how does it factor in with Title IX? And I don't know the answer. We don't have those answers yet. But if Title IX says you got to spend the same on a women's sport as you do on a men's sport, the first thing that's going to get cut from the bottom are the non-revenue men's sports, if that holds with Title IX. But this is where we're heading in college athletics. And you may hate it, and you may kick and scream, but I know something. I know something for a fact. Every single one of you, I don't care if you're a man, woman, young, old, boy, it don't matter. Every person listening to this show, you know what you're going to be doing at 6:30 p.m. Central Time on Saturday, September the 1st? You know what you're going to be doing? The same damn thing I'm doing. Watching LSU, USC, and I'm gobbling that up with a spoon. And you're going to do the same thing. No matter how many rule changes, NIL, transfer portal, all the things you purport to hate, none of that outweighs your love for your school, your team that you've cheered for, that's embedded in your reality, it's embedded in your existence, and has been for your whole life, and that's never going to change. And for at least a quarter century now, the adults in the room have taken advantage of that and leveraged that to make more money for themselves, and the free labor finally said, this ain't working no more. And here we are. Finally, the sins of the adults are coming home to roost. This is why we're here today. Not because student athletes are greedy. It's because for the last quarter century or longer, the adults in the room have been the ones using this opportunity to make as much damn money as they wanted. Oh, yes. Yes, you got a free education. Yes, you did. And if that deal was so bad for the schools, paying for tuition, room, board, etc., why do you think they were A-okay with that structure forever? Why do you think they've been A-okay just bebopping along in that structure and that model? Because the money, the revenue kept escalating over and over and over again. These were not congruent. Good for the student athletes. Get what you deserve. I ain't sitting here trying to tout or purport amateurism. It don't exist. It's stupid to suggest it exists. You know what I want? I want to watch LSU, USC in football. You know what I don't want? I don't want to ever see LSU in nickels again. They're not the same. Let's stop pretending they are. You know who's going to cry foul? All the little schools that can't afford to pay this because they've been living above their means for so long, trying to latch on to the Power 5 in football and the men's basketball tournament. Why? Not because they want to be competitive and win championships, because they want money. And those decisions are made by the adults, not the student athletes. Go form a group of 5 football league and have its own playoff and championship. Get its own TV deal, exist on its own merit. Will the adults do it? You have a choice now. Because college football is going to just exist on its own. Just one college football. That day is coming. In my lifetime, I would say within the next decade, that's going to happen. And sports, non-revenue sports, are going to start getting cut from the bottom. And every young man or woman who's going to miss out on an opportunity to go to college and play intercollegiate athletics is going to have only the adults to blame for the way they've managed the NCAA and major college sports for the last quarter century or longer. It's after further review.
AFR.
Brought to you by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Rouse's, y'all, we're heading into Memorial Day weekend. Of course, if you're going to be getting together with family, if you're going to be celebrating and honoring the brave men and women who gave the ultimate sacrifice so we can enjoy our freedoms and enjoying those freedoms this weekend, you're going to be celebrating together. Make sure you stop by Rouse's. They got everything you need. Catering trays, party platters, if it's fruit, vegetable, cheese trays, sandwich trays, chicken ribs, brisket, they got it all. Let them take care of your Memorial Day get-together. You can be throwing something on the grill. They got any type of meat that you want at the meat market, the seafood market. You want adult beverages, they got it. Craft beer, everything you're looking for, all the whiskeys, wine, the buy four, save more. Remember, the more you buy, the more you save, so you can try some really interesting wines. It's at Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Happy Memorial Day from our friends at Rouse's. This feels like home.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $11,000 off the new 23 Dodge Charger. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $11,000 off the powerful new Charger. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
The best.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Live After 5 wraps up tonight. Clock out and rock out with us. May 24th, downtown Baton Rouge for the free concert series. Starts at 5 p.m., goes to 8 p.m. Fun-filled music, delicious food, talented artists, a lively second line parade. The Michael Foster Project, Live After 5, wraps up tonight.
A little different cadence there for you, Muse.
Yeah.
You all right?
I'm good. I'm good. I was ad-libbing a lot of that because it would still say this is it. I didn't want to make people think that there was more coming live after 5.
Yes, understood. Okay, we got some new regional projections out. Honestly, there's not a ton to do today and around the SEC, so I was just going to run through a recap of the tournament scores up into this point from Thursday and then into today to kind of set the stage. So why don't you just hit the little thing there, Muse? There we go. Hit the little thing.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference.
Okay, so a lot of this we know from yesterday, but let's just catch you up. So right now, Kentucky and South Carolina are playing in an elimination game. LSU will play the winner of this game on Saturday. Kentucky presently leads South Carolina 2-0, bottom 2, but Carolina's got runners at the corners with 2 outs. So big threat here for Carolina. We'll see if they can come through. This game has happened because Kentucky eliminated Arkansas 9-6. In the second game, Tennessee beat Texas A&M 7-4. We know what happened with the LSU South Carolina game. And then the nightcap, Vanderbilt beats Mississippi State 4-3. So Vanderbilt moves on as well. Was that a 3-run homer? That was a 3-run homer.
Was a 3-run homer.
So Carolina hits a 3-run homer with 2 on, 2 out, and they've taken a lead now over Kentucky, bottom 2. That was Gavin Cassis who hit the 3-run homer. So Gamecocks now up 3-2 on Kentucky, and the score fest in Hoover continues. So we'll look forward to the next game tonight. Again, another elimination game on the other side of the bracket. Tennessee, Mississippi State. Winner moves into the semis. Loser goes home. And then we know Saturday, LSU will play the winner of the game presently, and then Vanderbilt will play the winner of tonight's game, Mississippi State and Tennessee. Got it? Okay, there you have it. That is around the SEC. We're brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. I'm going to get to the Division I, or the D1 baseball regional projections here in just a quick second. We'll take a peek at LSU's resume. But we're brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Energy-efficient replacement windows, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank, vinyl siding. Oh, yeah, they do indoor shutters as well. Remember, I really want you to take advantage of this. It's such a cool feature that Relief Windows has rolled out. It's a 3D model technology that allows them to take a 3D model home and show you what certain siding would look like on the home. Not just like a panel of color or go through a flip book. Like there's a 3D model of the home so you can see what the siding would look like, what color, what specific windows, all different angles of the home. It's an awesome way to have a better sense of what it's going to look like when it's on your home. So Relief Windows does that service. Got to go do it in-house at their office on Airline Highway in Prairieville. Give them a shout, 288-8138, 288-8138, or go to reliefwindows.com. Windows, door siding, Relief Windows, and reliefwindows.com. Oh, yeah, they do indoor shutters as well. Okay, D1 Baseball has their updated field of 64 out, and they have LSU now upgraded to a 2 seed. They've got LSU in the Stillwater Regional, where Oklahoma State is the number 13 overall seed. So they've got Oklahoma State as the 1, McNeese is the 4, LSU is the 2, Oregon is the 3. So if it played out like this, LSU would play Oregon in the opening round of the regional in a 2-3 matchup. And then if they win, presumably they would play Oklahoma State, the host. Now, D1 Baseball has Texas A&M as the number 4 national seed, meaning the winner of that Oklahoma State regional, if it played out that way, would go to College Station. So in theory, if this is how it played out, LSU goes to Stillwater, should they win, and A&M win their regional, they would go on and play Texas A&M. I know a lot of people have asked, well, what would have to transpire for LSU to host a super regional? I want to be clear. I know I keep getting this question about LSU hosting a regional. You've got to punt that idea out of your brain. I went back and looked. The 2010 LSU Tigers were similar to this team. They were the defending national champs, kind of scuffed and scuttled through SEC play in the second half. They got hot late, won the SEC tournament, but that team was 14-16 in the SEC. So they were a game better in the regular season than this LSU team. Again, defending national champ, went 14-16, won the SEC tournament, and got sent as a 2 seed out to LA to go take on UCLA, and they had to face, Trevor Bauer and the gang, and that didn't go so hot. So again, even if LSU wins Saturday, Sunday, wins the tournament, they're not going to host a regional. Like, there isn't a path to go from bubble team when the tournament starts Tuesday to hosting a regional. The 30-game SEC regular season, the 56-game sample, all of that is weighted. And you're not going to wash away a 13-17 conference record because you got hot in Hoover on a bunch of bullpen days. It's fun. It's exciting. LSU has done what they had to do, which is assure themselves of a tournament berth, and they keep climbing. But they're not going to be a regional host. So really, if you're LSU, what you're looking for is what's going to be the best possible draw for you. And there's a lot of different ways that you could look at it. Do you want the more favorable regional against a more difficult pairing? Like, for example, Baseball America yesterday had LSU in the Santa Barbara regional. Well, they had Santa Barbara 16. Well, they were paired with the number one national seed, which was Tennessee. So you, in theory, would have an easier path on a regional, but you'd have to go to Knoxville for the super regional. Would you rather that or a more like moderate regional that would be a more manageable, air quotes, super regional? I don't know if there's any such thing as a manageable or easy super regional if you're traveling against a national seed. But the reality is the SEC with Kentucky, Tennessee, A&M, Arkansas, Georgia, the SEC is probably getting 5 national seeds. So the math says that there's a greater chance that if you win your regional, you're going to be traveling to an SEC super regional site either way. So it doesn't necessarily have to go that way. Like, for example, they've got North Carolina, Clemson, and Oklahoma as the other national seed. So you, in theory, could go to one of those if you're paired with them. But we're just going to have to wait and see what happens on Monday. The tricky part is there isn't a geographic, like they're not going to send LSU in a 4-team regional to an SEC team's regional. So you're not going to go to Kentucky. You're not going to go to Starkville. Like, they're not sending you to an SEC team. So where do they send you? You know, a couple of years ago, it made sense because Hattiesburg was a host. And so they sent you to Hattiesburg. That's why a lot of times teams from Louisiana end up getting sent to LSU, Tulane, ULM, ULL, whatever. When there haven't been those very obvious ones, LSU's traveled. We've seen them go to Eugene and Corvallis and Los Angeles, like we just mentioned. So they could send them to East Carolina. They could send them to Terre Haute at Indiana State. They could send them to – they've got this D1 baseball projection as Oregon State as a regional host site. Could they send them back to Corvallis? Maybe. Could they send them to Santa Barbara? Possibly. Like, I look at that pairing, for example. D1 baseball has UCSB as the number 12 seed paired with Fayetteville, Arkansas. So if that's how it played out, yeah, okay, you go to Santa Barbara, in theory, cleaner path to win, but then you'd have to go win a super regional in Fayetteville, and that doesn't sound like a lot of fun trying to go beat Hagen Smith up there. You already tried to do that once. So anyway, just one other projection that's out there to keep in mind of as of right now. LSU's RPI is 23 at Walter Nolan, so the real-time RPI, LSU's at 23. All of the metrics are there. Your strength of schedule is up to 18, so you got a top 20 strength of schedule, number 23 RPI. Your KPIs in the teens. LSU is firmly in. And I think they're climbing closer to the 2 line, to being a 2 seed somewhere instead of a 3. And again, that probably only really matters in the event that, what jersey you're going to wear and who hits first. But if you do end up upsetting the regional host and you're paired with another regional where the regional host gets upset, then the higher seeded team hosts the super regional. In theory, that could be LSU. Now, I'll remind you back in 2019 when LSU hosted the super, they were not a national seed, but Florida State went to Georgia and upset Georgia, who was a national seed, so Florida State came to Baton Rouge. You would essentially have to be paired with a regional where both regional hosts lost. Hard to believe that happens, but that's at least the scenario that's out there. Okay, it's after further review. Theriot's in here in about 15 minutes. Muse will have Tigers and the Pros. Will wrap up hour number 1 next.
AFR.
Brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. I want to remind you, of course, tomorrow's Saturday, then Sunday, and Monday's Memorial Day. That means you have a weekend and a holiday. If you have issues with your AC this weekend or on Memorial Day, call River City's 1 Hour Air. Big yellow vans and trucks with the giant clock on the side. I say this every day. I tell you this all the time and have for years, but now it's worth bold, emphasize, underline because of what we're heading into. Weekend and a holiday. River City's 1 Hour Air will always come out nights, holidays, weekends, and they'll never charge you extra to come out on holidays or weekends. So whether it's tomorrow or Sunday or even Monday on Memorial Day, if you have trouble with your AC, call the best. Call the company that's on call and will come out nights, holidays, weekends. It's River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001, 752-0001. where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. So it's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
All right, wrapping up hour number 1. We flip things because Theriot's in here next. Muso, Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
Some disappointing news for Alex Lang. He was optioned to AAA today by the Detroit Tigers, so Lang's heading back down to Toledo. When you look at the numbers for him, it has not really been that bad of a year. He's appeared 21 times already, 18 and 2/3 inning, an ERA of 4.3 and 2 saves, but Langer's going to head back down to AAA for now. Aaron Boone gave an update on DJ LeMahieu and a possible return. So DJ wrapped up his rehab stint in Single A. In Single A last night. He will head to AAA this week if all goes well. This weekend, if all goes well, he'll be with the club when they are in Anaheim on Tuesday.
That a bit.
That should make you happy, yeah, getting him back.
Yes.
And then Angel Reese last night, again, just shy of the double-double, man. 13 points, 9 rebounds. Her team did get the dub in that one. Kevin Gausman for the Detroit Tigers, 6 innings, 3 hits, 10 punch-outs, and just 1 earned run.
Not a bit.
That's Tigers and the Pros.
Presented by First South Farm Credit, firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. I wish that had fallen differently on here because Theriot, I know, called my guy Tim over at First South Farm Credit working on a little project there. Say it all the time. If you're thinking of buying land, call the company that has helped Louisianians buy land since 1916. It's First South Farm Credit. Better go to the website, firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. You can direct any inquiries to Tim over at First South Farm Credit. I'm telling you, man, I had lunch with Ben and Tim last Friday. Great to chat with them. We talked about the patronage refund, $25.5 million. They actually pay dividend out to their member borrowers. So just for borrowing money at First South Farm Credit every year, you will get a check. And obviously the size of the check that you get depends on how large your loan is. But, I mean, it in effect, why am I here? You have something you have something up over there. You have to have something potted up. I hear myself.
You were the only thing potted up.
I'm hearing my voice in my head.
I'm hearing your...
First South Farm Credit, firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. Okay, that was weird. All right, Theriot, next.
AFR.
One thing is for sure, my hearing is good. So are my eyes, thanks to Dr. Blake Williamson at the Williamson Eye Center. 924-2020, 924-2020. Hey, maybe you've got that tax refund, thinking about what to do. How about making an investment in yourself? LASIK, any type of refractive procedure that you may need. Maybe it's PRK. Look, Evo ICL is something else we've talked about. Evo ICL, it's a technology that's been around for a while, and Dr. Blake Williamson has been performing Evo ICL implants. It's an implantable contact lens, by the way, so it's a reversible procedure. But a lot of people are just now finding out about him. You want to learn more? Contact Dr. Blake Williamson at the Williamson Eye Center. He's just the best. It's life-changing. You know, to be able to throw the contacts and glasses in the trash forever is so freeing to wake up in the morning and just see. And everybody can have that gift thanks to the Williamson Eye Center. Set up that consultation. 924-2020 or online at williamsoneye.com, williamsoneye.com.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Power up your next project with John Deere Deals by Sunshine. Whether you're working hard or playing hard, our knowledgeable team will help you find the right product for you. Ask us about our amazing tractor package promotions. Learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Ahead of Game 2 of the NBA's Western Conference Finals versus the Mavericks tonight, the Timberwolves received a strong message from their coach in what he called a rough film session. Chris Finch told them of his disappointment in their performance, attitude, and attention to detail in the Game 1 loss. Finch, though, did express confidence his team will be better. Anthony Edwards certainly needs to be, points out ESPN NBA insider Brian Windhorst.
Dallas has totally showed what their hand is going to be defensively. They packed the paint, basically were playing a tight zone, and they were keeping 3 and 4 guys ahead of Ant at all times. They've got to alter their strategy, and I think go a little faster. Don't let Dallas set up, increase the pace, and Ant has got to challenge them. If there's 2 guys in front of them, challenge them, get to the foul line, put the officials under some pressure on the road.
Game 2, 8 Eastern ESPN Radio. In explaining the reasoning for firing coach J.B. Bickerstaff, Cavaliers president of basketball Ops Kobe Altman said today he felt the team needed a new voice and a new approach. Rangers host the Panthers Game 2, NHL East Final tonight, 8 Eastern ESPN. New York's down 1-0.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Canty. Coming up Monday, I'll tell you why I'm not concerned about who the next Lakers coach will be. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
It's that Louisiana boy, yeah, they call him the Riot. Born and raised in the swamps, on the fight like a tiger. He going beast mode, baby, he a beast though. What you think he supposed to do? You picture better reload.
After further review, the Riot Radio Hour with Matt Moscona and Ryan Theriot, presented by Alpha Customs. Alpha Customs, Prairieville and Lafayette, and online at alphacustoms.net.
How's your week going?
Week was good.
Yeah, good.
I have a good idea. I'm full of good ideas.
Here comes Theriot. The throw, not in time. Scudero delivers, and the Giants lead 4-3 in the 10th.
The wave pool, although probably full of bacteria, flesh-eating parasites, and the occasional turd, provides endless hours of fun. It's not cool to have a 30A sticker on the back of your grocery go-getter. Big fan of the truck.
The Riot Radio Hour.
Theriot around start. He heads for home. Here's the throw. He is safe. Packers win. Packers win. Let's go.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt. Hey, shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Musa. And Theriot. We're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one, yo, Brett. You weren't wearing your headphones, so you missed it.
Oh, I do need to take the sticker off. It looks stupid. Why didn't you tell me that?
Well, you said, do I need to take this off? I said, you can do whatever. I just said you could do whatever you want to do. I do like that hat, though.
Parish life. Hashtag parish life.
So if you're listening, not watching, Theriot brought in 14 different versions of the Parish construction and roofing hat. Is it safe? And they're all on the desk here. Is it safe to say we've got a Parish hat party coming soon?
We do have a hat party coming soon. And I'm in a lot of trouble at the office, too.
What'd you do?
Because Tilly's in Dominican, senior trip. So Tilly's in Dominican.
Yeah, there's people that take their kids on senior trips all over
the
world,
what
right?
are we doing?
I think I've heard you do a letter about that, right? Crushing people.
Grow up. It's graduating high school.
Right? Didn't you did a letter, didn't you, where you crushed people who take their kids on senior trips like all over the world?
You know where I went on senior trip? Funfair Park.
Yeah,
that's where I went.
Houston Theriot, congratulations. I know last Saturday Houston Theriot graduated.
Yep.
I got the graduation announcement.
Of course he did.
Sent him a card with some cash in it.
Okay.
Did he get it yet, or did you steal it?
When
did he leave?
They left, what's today?
So is it just sitting in your mailbox?
They left Monday.
Have you checked the mail? Is it just sitting in your mailbox?
The girls have checked the mail.
Okay, so it's when he gets back.
There's a giant pile.
Oh, by
of
the
mail.
way, so Houston Theriot, congrats! Shout out Hugh, who just graduated. Where did Houston go for his senior trip?
They went right south of Miami.
Oh.
Right south of Miami. Just a nice little couple day getaway.
Yeah, where south of Miami was that?
One of those little.
What's it called?
The Bahamas.
Oh, really? You sent your kid to the Bahamas.
No,
you hypocrite. You don't get to sit here and crap on moms and dads anymore for sending their kids on elaborate senior trips when you sent your son to the Bahamas, and you know the girls are going to get to go wherever they want to, right? They should.
Well, I didn't send him.
I don't care where they go, by the way.
Jonna brought him.
By the way, shout out Jonna, shout out Houston. Go live your best life. I don't care. My point is, you're the guy who crushed people for sending their kid backpacking across France and going to the Bahamas, and then you did the exact same thing.
It's so stupid. No, I didn't. I was totally against this, but it was an argument I just didn't want to have. So look, we've got so here's what I was going to say before you went off on me.
You deserved it.
The amount of money that I've spent since Tilly has gone to the Dominican on hats is it's a problem at the office. So I'm getting some sideways looks. When I walked in with 4 boxes of hats today, Miss Linda looked at me crazy.
We need a budget meeting is what we need.
And Richard, he's the numbers guy. Like, he's the budget guy, and I'm not.
No.
If I got it, Pawpaw's spending it.
Pawpaw's spending it.
I mean, that's why you worked for it.
Got some hats.
So we got some.
You mean there's a hat with fluorescent green netting?
Yeah, no, this one is the can't be missed hat.
Give me 5 boxes of them.
Yeah, no, that one's kind of loud. But I want to know what the people like. So I do think we should do a poll, maybe like a social media poll or something.
Okay. Post a picture.
Because I want to give them all away. I've got a lot of them. We spent a lot of money on. I want to see people wearing them. I think they're kind of cool.
People keep asking me, can we get a Parish construction roofing hat? I'm like, of course. I don't want them in boxes in the office. I want them on people's heads. The point of having this apparel is so it's a walking billboard, and that's why you invest in nice things that people actually want to wear. Like our 104.5 ESPN hats are awesome. They're Richards and 112s. They're phenomenal hats. Like I talked to Michelle and Jesse. I was like, spend my entire as 104.5 ESPN PD. I said, spend my entire marketing budget on hats. That's all I want.
Yeah, but they got to be good.
Well, they're like, well, you need. No, I know the Richards and 112s. I was like, well, you need trinkets and this and whatever to give away. But I was like, no,
you don't.
I don't want the crap that nobody's going to keep. That they're going to get one and they're going to throw it in the trash. You give someone a nice, they'll wear it.
Yeah.
So, got them coming. All right, hat party coming soon.
Hat party.
What's going on in your life?
Well, as you know, and you talked about a minute ago, Houston and Jonna just came back from the Bahamas. And at this time of year, school's ending. You see graduation. It's warming up outside. What happens when it warms up outside? Vacation.
Oh, yeah.
Beach. 30A.
Can't wait.
The Bahamas.
Going at the end of June.
And so great spot, 30A.
Going to my spot.
Yep. That's your spot. Mr. 30A.
Got the bumper sticker on the car now. Wear the T-shirt. Was wearing the T-shirt at the mall last week.
You were. Send me a picture.
I tweeted it as well. When I was out at the mall with Drew last week on our weekly mall walk, I had my 30A shirt on.
You and Coach O. And so, so that's what people do around this time of year. It's vacation time. It's vacation time. So I wrote a letter to summer vacationers. Just give them a few pointers. It's kind of like I wouldn't say public service announcement, but just some pointers for those of you who plan on taking the beach trip.
Here it is. There's my 30A shot. I think we're walking through like Macy's or something like that, and I took that picture. I don't know why my face looks like I'm about to steal something, but I got my Parish hat on, my 30A shirt, and I tweeted that to you.
You can't steal anything with the Parish hat on, bro.
I wasn't stealing anything. It just looks. I mean, just look at my face. It looks nefarious. That's all.
If you're gonna steal something, don't wear the 30A hat.
The Parish hat.
The Parish hat or the 30A shirt. You can wear that. You wear a 30A shirt.
Yeah, I got it.
All right. Dear summer vacationers. Okay. That's
Got
what
it.
we got. All right. This is a quick guide to proper etiquette while at the beach, the pool, or any place that may involve you putting on a bathing suit. Okay? It's no secret that here in the United States, we aren't the best from a diet standpoint. We love our fast food and soft drinks. I'm a big Dr. Pepper guy. I'm back on Dr. Pepper.
Oh no.
Dirty bulk right now for me.
What happened to you?
I'm bulking up.
There was a time where you were like, you got
Off
so
it.
skinny.
I know, I'm off it.
And you worked so hard.
I know.
And I was even like, man, you're too skinny.
Right. That's why I'm back.
But now you're.
I'm thick.
You've yo-yoed.
He's thick.
Have you been a yo-yoer your whole weight yo-yo your
No,
life?
no. But I am now, for sure. Okay, so even with the introduction of Ozempic and Mounjaro into healthy Americans' lives, that's a thing, we somehow find a way to be fat here in the United States.
Yeah.
I'm not in the best shape of my life right now. Okay, we just talked about that, and I'm at least aware of that though. Okay, sure, there was a time in my life when I loved taking my shirt off. I was lean, sneaky jacked, and I stayed with a solid 10. Okay, I had those days, but those days are over. Sneaky jacked. And I'm perfectly fine with those days being over.
Okay.
Age has begun to catch up with me just a touch. I'm not a slob, Matt, by any means, but I'm also not going to be the feature on Muscle Magazine today.
Got it.
I say all that to say this. Ladies, stop wearing the same two-piece that you would have worn in your prime. Your butt no longer is able to support the material the way it did in the past. It's a nice way of saying this. It's actually doing the opposite of what it was supposed to do. When you can see some space between the bathing suit and your ass, that's not a good thing. In other words, when it's hangy,
I know. Yep, hangy. I know.
When it's hangy and a little loose.
Yep, little loose. Yep.
But 3 years ago, there was some firmness to it, and that joker stood up a little bit. But now it's
I got a better idea.
Gravity.
Let's do some air squats.
Or you can do some.
How
air
about we just start working in a couple sets of couple sets of 50 air squats every day. Firm that thing up a little bit.
Nobody wants to look at your weak, saggy butt struggling to fill out your bikini bottom. Okay. Sure, the waist size may fit, but that's about it. It's actually very rude of you to expose other people's children to that type of mess. Invest in a one-piece that controls the areas that Father Time has affected the most. There's nothing more nasty than a pasty body on the beach or at the pool. The good news is...
Nothing more nasty? I could think of some stuff more nasty.
Yeah, there's a couple things that are more nasty.
Yeah.
I didn't like that sentence.
Just for the record.
Yeah, that sentence probably wasn't good.
Yeah.
But here's the good news. There's a wide array of options that you can ensure that you don't look like Casper the Ghost while you're at the beach, okay?
Okay.
This is just public service stuff here. I'm trying to help you guys. The quickest fix is a good old spray tan. I'm all for the spray tan. I think it's great. For under $50, you can tan your entire body evenly, hiding flaws and creating the illusion of a fit body. It's been scientifically proven that a tan body is much more attractive. That's a thing.
Okay.
This does not stop the inevitable burn that you'll get if you choose to be in the sun all day. So, the most effective and smartest thing to do would be the gradual exposure of your body to the sun. Okay? That's the second.
Right.
Third.
Gradual.
Fellas, this is for the guys. Okay. If you have body hair like a primate, I understand you can't pick where hair grows on your body.
True.
But you can control it a little bit.
It's time consuming.
If you take your shirt off and look like a woolly mammoth, you're who I'm talking to. Back hair is gross in all situations.
Yeah.
Okay? I've never heard I've never heard somebody say, boy, your back hair sure looks good.
True.
Man, that's some sexy back hair.
We spent a good hour last Saturday manscaping me. And by we, I mean, there's two people that have to be part of that.
Thank you.
There's parts of my back I can't reach.
So wax prior to your trip, or
just shave. Just
pass the clippers, or get a razor and shave.
Get clippers.
And do that to be ensured that you're not mistaken for Bigfoot while you're searching for sand dollars at 38.
They have really nice sand dollars at 38 too, by the way. It's not like the broken up ones you get at Gulf Shores.
You can get the whole
You get
ones.
the full sand dollar. You really do.
All right, here's my biggest pet peeve
Beautiful.
of the beach
Okay.
and the pool. Biggest pet peeve.
All right.
Is people's feet. Okay. So people wear flip-flops and sandals at the pool and at the beach, and rightfully so. It's hot. You get sand everywhere, and you can clean them easily.
Yeah.
But toes with the long, scraggly pubic hairs on them, and the
Paying that much attention to somebody's toes.
and the nasty, discolored nails are absolutely disgusting to me.
Okay.
That is horrible. There's easy fixes.
Really?
Absolutely. Go get a pedicure.
That's not
Trim
gonna-
the long hairs.
That's not going to fix the discoloration.
Trim. Eventually, if you continue to do it and take
Yeah.
care of yourself, yeah, it will.
I know.
Trim the hairs. You don't need long hairs on your toes, guys. It's gross.
Yeah. I was losing that battle for a little while. It's been months now. Every morning I put some like moisturizing cream on my feet to knock all that stuff out.
Just be sure you look presentable before
Yeah.
putting on a bathing suit, please, this summer. Sincerely, Ryan.
It's After Further Review presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Kick Rocks is next. Stay here.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Glow Resources. Man,
Get it, Glow? I like it.
You ever have trouble hiring people?
I do. I had 2 interviews this week. Yeah.
How many interviews you think you do in a year?
I would say 50-ish.
You know how many Glow does in a day? 50
in a day.
In a day. So you think you're pretty good at the hiring process because you do about 50 interviews in a year? Imagine if you were a company that did 50 in a day, roughly 15,000 in a year. You want to know the questions asked? You're tired of having employees that aren't reliable, that don't show up, that always have something seemingly come up? You know how to eliminate that? You do it in the screening process by asking the right questions. Do you have reliable transportation? Do you have a life event coming up? Is your wife, spouse, significant other about to give birth to a child? Do you have an upcoming, jury duty, court date, something like that? You handle all that on the front end. Glow Resources thinks of everything. That's why they got a 93% retention rate. GLO, glowresources.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $11,000 off the new 23 Dodge Charger. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $11,000 off the powerful new Charger. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency. The light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
The best.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
All right, we'll do Kick Rocks here in just a quick second. Got a lot of LSU baseball to talk about as well. Most impressive part of this run for LSU baseball over the last 6 games, sweeping Ole Miss and now 3-0 in the SEC tournament.
I think sweeping Ole Miss.
No, I'm sorry. In this run, what has been the most impressive thing?
I mean, look, you've seen some pitchers that we were hoping would step up and throw the ball well, have done that. I think the offense, some late inning heroics kind of answering. You know, this team, when their back's been against the wall from a game-to-game standpoint, meaning, you know, you score a couple runs, other team scores a few runs, now the game's back to even, the team's kind of folded a little bit. You hadn't seen that. You've seen a lot of fight, and yesterday was probably the most evident of that.
Okay, let me ask you I'm going to ask you a more direct question.
Okay.
Offensively, Tommy White has been awesome all year. Which player that has emerged offensively has maybe been most impressive, most surprising to you with the job they've done in the last month?
I mean, you know, Bear Jones, obviously. You got to talk about him first.
24 homers on the year now.
Yeah, 24 homers on the year. Michael Braswell, I think, you know, the back half of the season has just been super impressive. Really swung the bat well, got some big hits. But, you know, the one I think that going into the year this year, if you would have said Stephen Milam's going to be hitting 320 with 5 and play every day for you and score a ton of runs and get you a ton of RBIs, I think, you know, you wouldn't believe it. He's, to me, probably the biggest surprise. The other guys have played great as well.
Milam isn't one that before the season we were talking about a lot of the freshmen that maybe we were thinking about or hopeful that could step up and have a good year, but a lot of that conversation was around a guy like Jake Brown, right? I mean, you were looking at Cam Johnson were the freshmen we were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. Larson and Milam are the two guys that have stepped up and become everyday players, which has been a huge part of this team. I think Jay, you know, got to a point this year where he just sort of decided, hey, we're not good. Like the veterans aren't performing the way we need. We're going to lean on the freshmen, and young guys have done that. And Stephen Milam has really been a catalyst. I mean, he had the RBI yesterday, which got LSU on the board first in the game yesterday. So 4 for 5 yesterday. Really strong day offensively. So Tigers have the day off today. We'll talk more SEC tournament as we come up. We're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. It is Memorial Day weekend. I got amazing deals going on for Memorial Day weekend. So if you're thinking about buying a car, you know, one of the best times to buy the car actually is the end of the month, right? You got quotas you got to meet. They got to move inventory. End of the month inventory. This is the time. So nearing the end of the month of May, before you hit the road for that vacation, you want to hit the road in your new vehicle, you can do it. South Point Volkswagen. Want to buy a vehicle for the high school or college grad in your life? Buy something affordable, something safe, something stylish and fun that they'll love, and you'll be happy to pay for because it's affordable. 0% for 72 months on the TDI right now. It's incredible. Go check it out at South Point Volkswagen. SouthPointVW.com. South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction? And if you don't go to South Point Volkswagen, you can kick rocks.
It's time to Kick Rocks with Ryan Theriot.
Kick Rocks.
Presented by Ruckus. Kick Rocks with shoes from Ruckus. Jones Creek Road in Baton Rouge. Or go to ruckus103.com.
Tom Brady can kick rocks. That's a standing kick rocks, but this one's
a perpetual kick rock.
Kick Rocks.
Did you prepare?
Yeah. Okay, you can kick rocks for being a middle midget.
Kick rocks.
Costing your team 4 points.
They can kick a whole bag of rocks for that.
Get on down the road and kick rocks.
Been following the what is it?
I just went to the website. Look at these dunks. Paulie, pull that up. The Dunk Low Burnt Sunset. Oh my God. It's orange like a sunset. It looks like it's canvas. Oh, that looks so good.
some sort of crazy material.
I want to go get those right now. I want to go buy those right now. All right, anyway, good. Sorry.
Yeah, those aren't bad. I like those a lot. There's two things that I like about the NBA. I like the playoffs.
Okay.
And I like the draft. I like the draft because it's short and sweet. The guys wear cool clothes, and they're instant millionaires. It's fun to watch people turn into instant millionaires.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a cool thing. I enjoy that. The fact that Bronny James, son of LeBron James, is even being considered for the NBA draft can kick rocks. Dude averaged like 5 points.
Yeah.
They're talking about now his agent, Rich Paul, says he doesn't want to sign a two-way contract. Matter of fact, he won't sign a two-way contract. The guy didn't even have a two-way contract when he was at USC last year. He barely played. When he played, he stunk. The team was a top 10 team going into the season, but they played him, and they played their way into like a top 50 team. Like, he stunk at the end of the year.
He wasn't even the best freshman on the team.
Wasn't even the best freshman on the team.
I feel bad for him, though. I mean, it's just the hype is just because of who his dad is.
It's not his fault.
It's not his fault at all. And by the way, he also had a cardiac issue. He had heart surgery.
He did.
And came back from it, which is incredible. Yeah, there's a lot of convo around him. It's not his fault. I feel bad for him.
No, but he could
I shouldn't feel
down.
bad for him. He's LeBron James' kid. I mean, he's got every advantage in the world. But anyway, good.
So I can kick rocks. Louisville detective, police detective.
Oh.
Brian Gillis.
Let's go with Gillis.
I think it's Gillis. Brian Gillis. Decided it'd be a good idea to stop the number one golfer on the planet as he was entering the course to get ready to play and claimed that Scotty Scheffler tried to run him over and then drug him with his car, and he had an injured leg. Video surveillance later showed that was actually not the case, that Scotty stopped and the guy was kind of right there, no big deal.
He ran and jumped on his car.
Yeah, and like hit his car. Later, Scheffler was arrested.
So stupid.
Brought downtown, detained, booked, and then released on bail, and then he ended up didn't play great. So this guy, Brian Gillis, can kick rocks.
Kick rocks.
He's been disciplined by the Louisville PD. He didn't turn his body cam on, all kind of stuff there.
Yeah, you're an idiot, Brian.
I keep looking at that whole situation, and we talked about it when it happened, and I was laughing because I remember I was doing a cold plunge, and I was watching the TV, and I'm watching Jeff Darlington, who was the guy that was there kind of videoing the whole thing, and he's giving like a play-by-play recap of what happened, and I'm laughing out loud. I'm like, I don't know what's more ridiculous, listening to this guy give a play-by-play recap of a golfer being arrested for just driving past a barricade, or arresting a golfer for driving past a barricade. Like, it was equally stupid. And Darlington in the video, it was like, you'd see him, he's like, hey, guys. Like, he's trying to tell the police officers, like, hey, this ain't the best idea. I mean, look, if Scotty Scheffler was doing something illegal, like if he got,
anything illegal.
Like if you get a DUI, you get pulled over drunk, yes, you're going to jail, you deserve to. I have no sympathy for you. That, it's like, guys, sometimes and look, police officers have they have a difficult job. I mean, because stuff like this is always front and center. They're faced with a million impossible tasks a day. But that's one where it's like, man,
you got to be better.
Wow.
Have some feel for the situation.
Right. Man, it just you made a nothing into a giant thing.
Yeah, Brian.
Was the problem.
Stupid. I'm not a huge NASCAR fan, but I do
There's two of us.
I do love the personalities of the drivers sometimes.
Oh, I know where you're going.
So there was a fight. There was a NASCAR race, and there was a fight between Kyle Busch and Ricky Stenhouse. It was awesome. It just so happened to be perfectly videoed of like 5 different angles. It was the most obviously staged fight.
No.
Oh, yes, it was. Look at all the cameras. Look at all the cameras.
Of course, they're on pit row. Of course, there's cameras.
No, they're behind,
There's media.
bro.
No, there's media there. Bro, he wouldn't have his hands down if this was staged. You're not going to eat a punch.
Look at he didn't eat it. It was all fake.
No, bro. He landed that punch.
So you don't think this was talked about, hey, we're going to do this?
No.
And
it was because of what happened on the course. I saw the highlight.
It was. I saw the highlight too. Look at Kyle Busch throwing
pushing
punches.
some other guy.
Hold on, but watch the big guy here in a second. So there's one guy on Busch. There he is. Busch's pit crew that starts throwing people. Boom. You two down. You down. You get out of here. You get out of here too.
That's awesome.
That guy's awesome.
It's like the Royal Rumble.
It was like the Royal Rumble.
So good.
Yeah, I thought that was
God, that's Stone Cold's music.
All right, that's all I got.
All right,
I got, hold
kick.
on. I got my shoes.
Oh, let me see. Yeah, what you got?
Got to shout out Ruckus for these. Ruckus is on the Parrish team. Ruckus even ordered these dunks, these Parrish green dunks.
Well, they're going to be hidden behind all the hats.
Well, I don't want to. How about that? Ruckus ordered these Parrish green dunks just for us. If you want to be on the.
That's not true.
That's not true, but it kind of is.
No,
I'm going to say
they
it's
just
true.
happen to be green dunks that they sell.
So they got
and
these,
they're awesome, and I'm mad at you for not getting me a pair.
They're Parrish green. Check the dunks.
That feels really selfish of you.
Yeah. But there's a lot of cool new stuff at Ruckus, actually. So
I mean,
guys
you
go
also
check
went to
it out.
Ruckus without calling me, which is a bummer. It was the last 2 times that I went. I called you. We were supposed to go. One of them was when I went with Drew, and then you totally ghosted me.
Don't try to make me sad on that one.
Well, you did. You ghosted me. And Drew. You made Drew very sad. He was like, and Ryan? He wanted to see Ryan. And you ghosted him. Way to go.
Sweet.
Go to Ruckus. Yeah. Ruckus103.com. Ruckus, R-U-K-U-S, Ruckus103.com. Those really are sweet shoes, though. Seriously.
Ruckus green.
I do love them a lot. I wish you got me a pair.
Parrish green.
Didn't get me one, did you?
I'll get you a pair.
Okay.
Go on to GOAT.
It's AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Action Industries. They've been an industrial contractor since 1982. And this much I know. You do not get hired to do work in the petrochemical industry, the refinery markets, without having an exemplary safety record. Like, that's first. Action Industries, their safety record beats the industry standard. So that's number one. And then, of course, you don't keep getting hired and rehired over and over if you don't do exemplary work. Of course, that's been a standard for Action Industries for 42 years. If you're a maintenance manager, turnaround coordinator in one of the plants, you're looking for work to be done, give Action Industries a try. ActionIndinc.com, Action Industries Incorporated, ActionIndinc.com. They're on LinkedIn as well. They got 2 physical locations, one right there in Geismar as well on 30. Check them out. Action Industries, proud partner of LSU Athletics.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
All right, rolling along. Friday show is brought to you by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Great spot to go this weekend or any day. You want to unwind, have a cocktail, a great cigar. Don Juan Cigar Bar in Town Center. Theriot's here with us. We've got Mintz in about 25 minutes. Paulie, what's our updated standings on the on our college baseball pick? Vinci texted me and Muse earlier today. Said, "Hey, let's run it through regional, super regional, postseason." I kind of feel Muse just like he wants to keep going, so he has a chance to get back in the game. What are you have it, Paulie? Let's see. So Scone went 2-1. Muse and Mintz. Y'all, I'm 15-8-1. Your boy's crushing this year. Muse is 12-12. Mincy's 13-14. That's why he wants to keep going.
I don't know if there's enough weeks left though. Anyway, I mean, I'm all for keeping it going or whatnot, but I don't even think mathematically at 3 games a week we can catch you.
Yeah, you can. 3 in the regional, 3 this weekend. I don't even know what we're picking this weekend. There's just not that many games left.
But I mean, I know and I'll be honest, I haven't looked at the slate yet. I was prepping Hunt show and then hosting it, so I haven't.
Well, I do tons of research on this stuff. Muse.
Yeah, it's not necessarily research, Matt, as much as I don't know how many games we have to pick.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so Mincy will be here. I guess we'll pick games, and I'll keep getting more right than I get wrong, like I've done all year somehow. I don't know how.
That's the goal, right?
We got the baseball guys here. We got Mintz and Muse here to give you all the right picks, but somehow old Scone just keeps kind of trucking along. You get it? I don't get it.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either. All right, it's after further review. We're glad you're with us here. Riot Radio Hour brought to you by Alpha Customs. LSU's going to play tomorrow against the winner of this game. Right now, they're tied. Muse, I don't know if you're watching. How did South Carolina homered to go up 3-2, and they're tied now at 4? Have you watched?
I have not.
Okay, no worries. I'm glad you're not. I'm glad you're locked into the show.
Well, I was working on something else for the weekend here, but yes.
I'm trying to pay you a compliment, and you're just like, actually, I wasn't working on the show.
But you couldn't tell. The show went great.
Except for whenever at the start of hour 2, when we were playing the drops, you played Barbie Girl for Paul when you screwed that up.
I wasn't working on anything right there, though. That was just an honest misstep. I mean, when I was working on things, the show went great.
Got him. Okay, so
South Carolina was homered, though.
LSU will play the winner of this game on Saturday, and should they win, they'd go on to the championship game, and it'll be the other side is Vanderbilt against either Tennessee or Mississippi State. I think Tennessee is probably the team that comes out of that side. I think Tennessee is probably wins the SEC tournament championship. What do you think LSU should do on the mound tomorrow? I mean, you obviously don't have Jump or Holman available, right? Jump pitch Tuesday. You're not going to throw him on 3 days rest, and you're not going to throw Holman.
No.
Little threw 51 pitches yesterday. I can't imagine he's back. As you look at guys that have started, I mean, Sam Dutton seems like the most obvious choice here. Javen Coleman, Cade Anderson are other guys who have started games for you, but haven't really performed. It's got to be Dutton, right? At least just as an opener, if nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, look, the only other one would be Cade Anderson, who's been, great midweek, and then you throw him out there SEC play. He hasn't done so well this season during the SEC. So I mean, just from who's been extended, who's thrown a ton of pitches that from a health standpoint could be out there would be Cade, but
I should mention Griffin Herring as well. Obviously, would be available for this game. I don't know if you start him, but you have him available and could extend for you.
And I don't think you do. And I think it's got to be a bigger picture mindset right now for LSU. You're not going to want to risk injury with any of these guys. Of the ones you just mentioned, Griffin Herring is the most important to the team, right? And so if there's any thought that it may be early or too much, obviously he's going to sit down. I wouldn't be surprised to see the combination of the two freshmen at some point. We're going to have to see them. Assuming they win and get to the championship game, you're going to have both of those guys go out there and throw too. So
I think I think the really interesting thing is if they do win and get to the championship, do you then turn around and bring Gage Jump back? Now, I know that sounds insane, but just follow me. So Jay told us for the last 3 weeks they've been prepping Jump and Holman to pitch on 4 days rest. He knew that the SEC tournament game on Tuesday was probably going to be important for this team. Whether we think it should have been or not, he had the foresight to say, look, that's probably going to be an important game. And it was. And so he had Jump ready to go. Through him, they beat Georgia. So if they get to Sunday, it'll have been 4 days rest again. Now, you could play your regional opener on Friday, or you could play it on Saturday. If you throw Jump on Sunday and then you have a regional opener on Friday, then you ain't throwing Jump.
No.
You're not turning around throwing him on 3 days rest. On 4 days rest again and extending. So what do you do there? And now here's the thing. Here's my one thought. Sorry, let me finish that thought. I don't know when their bullpen day is. So if you're going to throw a 20, 30 pitch bullpen, could an outing in the SEC tournament essentially replace your bullpen? Like, could you get up there and go get 6, 9 outs, something like that?
You could, but there's a big difference between the intensity and intent in which you throw a pitch in the bullpen and then in the SEC championship final game, So, like, I've heard that a lot too, yeah, we can just give him 15, 20, 30 pitches and replace his bullpen session, but that's actually not the case. I mean, this is a totally different thing. It's like batting practice versus the real game. I mean, so I would have to imagine that even if it comes to that and Jump is prepped and ready to go on 4 days rest, we won't see Jump, we won't see Holman, we won't see Herring. We'll see Cam Johnson, we'll see Cade Anderson. It'll be one of those bullpen type days in the championship game, and quite honestly, to me, that's the smartest thing to do.
I agree that it's the smartest thing to do.
I mean, if you win the tournament, what does it do to your seeding?
Nothing.
Okay.
Well, let me not say nothing to the seeding. The thing that people keep asking is, can you be a regional host? And the answer is no. You're not going to be a regional host. You can win this tournament. You're not going to host. So essentially, you're increasing your seeding line, but you're still going to be a 2, right? If you win the tournament, you're going to be a 2. It's just, are you?
If you lose the next game, are you still a 2?
I don't know. Okay. I think so. D1 Baseball today has put out their projections, and they have LSU as a 2. A 2 playing in in Stillwater, who they have Oklahoma State as the 13. So, look, I mean, in theory, if you're the highest 2, you're going to the 16 seeds regional, right? I mean, right? If you're just playing that out that way, you're going to get the best draw as a 2. So you'd play the weakest of the 16. So you keep working your way up. So I guess in theory, yeah. I mean, you could if D1 Baseball has them as the 2 seed in the number 13 team regional. So you win, maybe you're the 2 seed in the number 16 regional, right? Wherever that is, and whoever that's paired with, I don't know. But I agree with you. It's not worth risking. Ryan, I also didn't think Jay was going to bring back Jump and Holman on 4 days rest. Like, I thought they were going to take a different approach on Tuesday and then get into their Jump Holman on 5 days rest, Wednesday, Thursday, if they got there. But he thought of it differently and was comfortable with what he saw. So for me, I think the bigger thing is it's not pitching. If you were to throw Jump, if you get to Sunday and you let him throw 20 pitches, I don't think that's nearly as big a deal as whether or not that compromises him for Friday.
Oh, 100%.
In the regional.
Right.
Like, would you rather just have him fully rested, having gone from Tuesday to the following Friday between starts?
Yes, I think you keep him on whatever scheduled bullpen that they've been doing, and everything stays the same. Even if his bullpen day would be one of these days that we're talking about, that they're playing a game, I'd rather see him trot down to the bullpen in the 4th inning, throw his bullpen, and then come back and sit down in the dugout, then throw the high leverage pitches during the game. And that's just me. If the seeding is not going to change. Now, if you're telling me, hey, man, we can jump from here to here, then you got to do what you got to do. But, I think if they feel like they're locked in to this 213, 214, 215 type setup, and they're not really concerned, why risk it?
Yeah, I do agree. I'll just throw it out as well. Like, we have Gavin Guidry could pitch tomorrow. We haven't seen Griffin Herring since Tuesday as well. So, like, he's able to go. I mean, you've got arms. Like, the day off helped LSU tremendously. Whichever of these two teams LSU plays tomorrow, Kentucky, South Carolina, I think LSU's winning that game. Because whichever one of these two teams makes it, they are going to be decimated with their staff. And LSU they're going to have Dutton available. They're going to have Herring, Guidry. You could probably bring back Ackenhausen. I doubt you're bringing back Little, but you got plenty of arms to get through tomorrow. I think Sunday becomes the real, like, here, what do you do?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you do what you're suggesting, which is throw anybody, throw your up 10, down 10 guys, or do you bring back, jump and try to go win a championship?
Yeah.
I'm not going to pretend to know what Jay's going to do because he kept it a really good secret that he was prepping Jump and Holman to go on 4 days rest for the last 3 weeks. So, in any event, all right, we're brought to you by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, LMFJ.com, LMFJ.com. You got a graduate?
I do.
Maybe you can buy your graduate a watch as a graduation gift. You can get that at Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Beautiful timepieces, writing instruments as well. Great gifts for graduates. If you go to the website, LMFJ.com, scroll down, you see the graduation gift guide. There's like what do you call the graduation caps? Or is there a special name for a graduation hat? Or is it just like the square hats on the top? Or are they just graduation hats? I don't know.
The red thing's a tassel.
Well, no, the tassel, but the hat. Anyway, that's right. There's like a diploma and a graduation hat there. Click that. You'll see the graduation gift guide. Watches, writing instruments, pendants, necklaces, rings, gorgeous gift items for the graduate in your life. Shop them today at Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. 9 locations in all, 2 in Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, Shreveport, and online at lmfj.com. Okay, we're wrapping up hour number 2. When we come back, we'll do Ask Ryan. Get your questions in for Theriot. You can ask him anything about anything. So you can email your questions. You can tweet us at Matt Moscona. You can text in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Ask Ryan to wrap up hour number 2 next.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by the Watermark Hotel and the Renaissance Hotel. 2 amazing hotel properties. Watermark downtown, Renaissance Southtown. Of course, we're heading into the weekend. A great opportunity if you're knocking off of work, you want to go do something this weekend, pop on in downtown to the Watermark. The lobby bar there and the Watermark is gorgeous. There's great street views as well. So if you want to sit at one of the bar stools, you can watch all the pedestrian traffic go
people
by.
Watch.
You can people watch.
Yeah, I like that.
It's just the ambiance of the Watermark is awesome because it's historical, where they maintained the history but added a lot of the modern flair to it as well, some modern amenities. It's just a great experience to go check it out. And of course, the Renaissance, which is right there on Bluebonnet, if you're there in that Southtown area, Tallulah inside the Renaissance has a great indoor-outdoor vibe. They call their outdoor space the Terrace. They have a beautiful water feature with fire in the water features. Great place to have a cocktail, a glass of wine on a beautiful Friday night. You can check them out. It's the Watermark and the Renaissance Hotel, 2 amazing hotel properties in Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. It's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps are held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
We're going to get to Ask Ryan. I want to give a special shout out to our guy, Timmy B. Tim Brando texted me, said, wifey and I are passing through on our way to Orange Beach. Keep us entertained. So shout out to Tim Brando for listening. We appreciate it. Dude's been a good friend and a mentor and a supporter and fan and all those things. Great dude who's I know helped me a ton in my career. Appreciate Tim a lot. So good to hear Timmy B listening on his way from the port city over to Orange Beach. If you are getting on the road this weekend, y'all be safe. I know a lot of people travel during Memorial Day weekend, so
get you a tie-dye T-shirt, Timmy, when you get down to Orange Beach. Tie-dye T-shirt with Moscona's face on the back.
Wear that tie-dye T-shirt on the links. Not a bad thing to do. All right, let's get to Ask Ryan. You know the drill. Fire away. Ask Theriot anything about anything. All right. Dion Santiago, Ask Ryan, what was one of your baseball superstitions?
I honestly did not have any superstitions. Was never that guy.
Oh, the square academic cap, the mortarboard.
What?
Thank you to Brett LaCava.
Mortarboard.
The graduation cap is called a mortarboard. Thank you. I thought it had a name, but thank you, Brad. I didn't know what it was. Okay, Kyle Milliken, Ask Ryan. As players and coaches, if the team feels comfortable with where they're going to be seated for regionals, do they pack it in tomorrow or do they go all out, try to win the championship?
I think that's kind of what we talked about a little bit with the pitching. I think, first off, you never pack it in and try to lose the game or not try to win the game. You want to win every game you play. But I think if you're comfortable where you are, and make sure your pitchers are rested and get ready for the regional,
Kind of like the point I make every year about midweek games.
Yeah, kind of.
Greg Dawson asked Ryan, favorite 38 place to eat not named Scratch Biscuit Kitchen. Shout out Colleen Crane, who also said the mortarboard was the graduation app.
That's probably a better question for you, the 30A food.
Last year was the first time I ever went.
I think Louisiana Lanyap has a location over there.
I think they're in Destin. I don't think they're on 38.
It's close, though, isn't it?
I don't know. Tony Moore, do you think Daniel Cabrera will make it to the big leagues?
I sure hope so. I don't know.
Craig Alemont, Ask Ryan, SEC tournament aside, who do you think is the best option for a day 3 starter in the regional?
Griffin Herring, probably.
Griffin Herring is going to be the first out of the bullpen.
Assuming he's not the first out of the bullpen.
He's going to be the first out of the bullpen. Evans, Ask Ryan, favorite seafood, fried, boiled, or grilled?
Fried.
Clayton Knight, What about cupping pitchers like swimmers with all the dark circles on their shoulders? Could that get into baseball?
They do it.
They do it, yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't think you see it on baseball players. Like swimmers, you see it because they're have shirts on.
Now, cupping's been a thing for a long, long, long time.
Have you done cupping?
Absolutely.
I've done cupping a lot too. It feels like it's going to pull the skin off your body.
Yeah, no, it works.
Kaylee Roach, tell Ryan long toe hair can be referred to as a toe pet.
It's disgusting. Whatever it is, it's gross.
We'll get to more. Remind about Shaw Bills. Hey, if you are hitting the road. An honest to goodness true story this morning. This morning, after I went and worked out, stopped to get a bag of ice. A lady had a flat tire. I was helping her change it. Long story short, I didn't want to tell the story because of that. Long story short, the nuts on they were stripped. It was not a good situation. Anyway, she's like, I always go to Shaw Bills on Burbank. She's like, let's call Shaw Bills, get them over there. So got her helped out.
Good for you.
Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service. Help a neighbor. Be nice to people. ShawBillsTire.com. ShawBillsTire.com. Shaw Bills. We keep you rolling. Rob Neely said, I want the one on the viewer's far right from your left front row. Swap you my Hudco hat.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry,
no, absolutely. Yeah.
Let's see. Viewer far right. So over there. Oh, the white one. Tilly's hat.
This guy?
That's the one Tilly likes. The tennis hat.
Yeah, this is like the breathable beachy, it's got the tennis type
Joe
setup.
Simon said his wife probably has a 38 sticker on her grocery getter.
Yeah, I'm sure.
What about you?
No,
Hour
definitely
3
does not.
AFR.
Hey, tell the people about Pure Restoration. What's going on over there?
Patented dry fog system. Pure Restoration delivers, kills mold. Obviously, we've talked about that time and time again. Also sanitizes. The cool thing about Pure Restoration and what this system can do is you're in and out 4 hours tops.
Residential.
Residential. You're in and out 4 hours tops. But then also commercial. Doesn't really matter how big the space is. We'll amp up on the nozzles, and it'll be more vans and more nozzles there. So awesome product. Clean smell once you're finished. The guys are amazing. Give Jim Woodworth a call. My boy Jim does it all. He's a stud.
Pure Restoration, pure-restoration.com. Ryan knows so much about this. I think I mentioned it before, but Ryan and Richard, my partners in Parish, also are now partnered with Jim in Pure Restoration. So we all half the company thereabouts partnered on that. So so Ryan actually knows a lot about it. It's an awesome. I always encourage you. And by the way, if you're not sure, Scone, what's the mold thing? Email me and I'll send you the link. Pure Restoration.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $11,000 off the new 23 Dodge Charger. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $11,000 off the powerful new Charger. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Power up your next project with John Deere Deals by Sunshine. Whether you're working hard or playing hard, our knowledgeable team will help you find the right product for you. Ask us about our amazing tractor package promotions. Learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
He's here. Anyone want a Coors Light?
Oh, shoot, I forgot to play the song. I got a guy who can fix this.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. The Timberwolves hoping to avoid in the NBA's Western Conference Finals what happened to them in the previous round when they dropped their first 2 home games to Denver. Minnesota down 1-0, hosts Dallas Game 2 tonight. Among those Wolves that need to improve tonight, Anthony Edwards. He had just 19 points in the opener. ESPN NBA analyst Monica McNutt.
Teams are absolutely gearing up for Ant as the guy. He is the one when it comes to the Wolves, and so he has to make the necessary adjustments. I think there's room for him to take advantage of his shiftiness, his athleticism, and his explosion in terms of trying to get to the paint and then spraying if he has to a teammate.
Monica on Get Up, West Finals Game 2, 8 Eastern, ESPN Radio. Despite J.B. Bickerstaff's successes in 4+ seasons in Cleveland, Cavs felt like they reached their limit with him. President of Basketball Operations Kobe Altman said today the reason behind Bickerstaff's firing was that they believe they need a new leader. NHL's Eastern Conference Final back on the ice for Game 2 tonight for the Panthers and Rangers, 8 Eastern on ESPN and ESPN+. Florida leads that series 1-0.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Commercial Insurance. It flexes to fit your business's needs. From quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options, Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios.
Let's ride. You can't handle the
Riot Radio Hour.
Let's do that again. Guess who's back? Back again.
Lisa, I want some more.
The Riot Radio Hour.
Well, let's start the insanity. Giddy up.
Number 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
We're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us, heading into a weekend. You, bruh.
Yeah, bruh.
Not only a weekend, but of course a holiday weekend. So, being that it is Memorial Day weekend, take a moment to salute, of course, all the brave men and women that paid the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom. Man, that's why we stop and pause and honor all those brave men and women, and we take a day to enjoy the freedoms that they provide. So we'll do that on Monday. We'll be off, and hopefully all of you have a great Memorial Day weekend. Be safe. I know every year Memorial Day, it's just, you got to have that reminder, man. If you drink, don't drive. If you're on the water, be safe. Just, y'all be safe and be smart out there, man. Come back to us on Tuesday. There's something else I had to tell you, and it just slipped my mind. So let's go to Mincy.
It's time to cash some tickets. Let's preview the college baseball weekend with Ben Mintz and Barstool Sports, presented by the DraftKings Sportsbook.
All right, so Mintzy was here last week, and he told us the only way that the guys at Barstool said he could go cover the SEC tournament was if he had a viral video, and he succeeded because he went and accosted the Vandy Whistler again, but this time I think they became really good friends. Mintzy, how are you, dude?
I'm doing well, man. It's been one of the craziest weeks ever, and, I mean, that says a lot with the way Barstool is. But I started the week in Chicago, flew to NOLA, went to Hoover for a few days. Big Cat made me go back to Chicago yesterday. Then I flew back to Hoover, made the whole second half of the LSU game, and now I'm heading to Memphis for widespread panic. Let's go.
Wait, why did you have to go back to Chicago?
So he said I had to do a million-view video. Every day I did a million-view video, I could stay an extra day. So I did one with the Whistler deal, but I couldn't get a second one. So he literally was serious, and he made me fly back to Chicago Thursday, and I went in the office for 3 hours. He made me go in the office for 3 hours, and I flew back, and I got to make it back in the fifth inning. That was a classic game last night, man. That was unbelievable, that LSU South Carolina game. I got to see it. I actually went to all 3 LSU games this week. And, yeah, man, it's been a hell of a week.
Forgive me, I misunderstood. Are you still in Hoover, or are you back in Chicago now?
No, I'm on my way to Memphis to see widespread panic.
Oh, Mintzy just out there living his best life. Yeah, there's the video. If you're watching on our back screen, there's the video with Mintzy approaching the Whistler. Do you want to give the backstory of your situation here with the Whistler?
Yeah, so 2 years ago, I was at the SEC tourney, and I declared war on him because everybody hates him so much. And it's just, if you're in the stadium with them whistling, it like hurts the experience so bad. So I went, just got in his face during Ole Miss Vandy 2 years ago. I told him he was a disgrace to the Southeastern Conference, and he's the most selfish person I've ever seen, putting himself over everyone in the stadium. And he started cursing at me and, like, went nuts. And it went, like, I mean, that was like a 10 million view video. And so when Big Cat asked for the numbers, like you said, I mean, I was like, man, I know the Whistler equals rating. So I went and got in his face again, and he's like, tried to shake my hand, and I wish I'd have knocked his hand down, but I was so flustered by his pizza.
Oh, Mintzy, it just revealed your true character. You're a good dude.
You're a nice guy.
That's it. I mean, you're not a rabble-rouser. You're not out there trying to start anything with a guy. So, you know, he extended his hand to shake yours, and you obliged.
And
that was
old.
the right thing. He's an old man. It's the right thing to do. Right thing to do.
Yep. So I guess I need to get meaner. But yeah, it was funny. I mean, it definitely was funny. And, look, man, I loved it. Look, man, I know it's tough for y'all because it's midweek. But, man, I absolutely love the SEC tourney. Yeah. The Hoover thing, you're always just like, Birmingham suburb, like, on the location. But it's the most fan-friendly event, man. The tailgate, the RV, you can go in and out. You can park. They have the fun fan fest. I mean, and all week, there's more and more people from Louisiana flooding in there. And, man, nobody does it bigger than LSU and Hoover. Like, I was with the Louisiana tailgate, all my Louisiana LSU friends, and we boiled crawfish one day and, like, did a bunch of boudin and, like, just high-end food, just did it huge. And, man, I couldn't have had a better time. Check that. Did you see the video of me being the state walk-off against Ole Miss, though?
No. I'll have to go check it out. Why? What happened?
So Ole Miss was up 1-0 in the ninth with 2 outs. And this guy whose name, the outfielder, Mississippi State, his name is Husak, but it's spelled Hujsak, like Hugh Sack. And he let's just say he kind of nutted on Ole Miss with 2-run walk-off.
Okay. Let's get to our picks. All right, Paulie, flash the graphics up there. Mintzy, you and Muse last week went 1-2. Your boy went 2-1, so another winning week for Scone, who's 15-8-1 on the year. Muse is 12-12. Mintzy, 13-14. I mean, Mintzy, just go with my plays, man. Make yourself some money. I mean, all I'm doing here is trying to pay for kids' college. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey, I hear you. Well, I will say this. I've been hot this week. I went big on the LSU South Carolina over 14. And then I went really big on LSU minus 130 against Kentucky when Holman was pitching. So I've had not that counts as standings, but I've had a really, really good week.
Well, let's see if we can get some winners here today. It's a tough slate to pick as you're deep into conference tournaments, but we each got 3. You have 3, Mintzy?
I do.
All right, I'll start it off. Y'all know I love unders on a big total. The biggest one on the board today is Portland and San Diego. The total's 15. So I'm going to play under 15 in the Portland USD game. That's my first play. Under 15 in the Portland-San Diego game. Muse, you go ahead with yours.
All right, sure. Let's go to the ACC tournament. Wake Forest in North Carolina. I guess you got a question of how much is North Carolina playing for. They've got their postseason locked up, but I'll take them plus 124 against Wake.
All right, UNC
on the money line.
On the money line. UNC on the money line. Mincy, what you got?
In that exact game, I'm going under 12.5. Because Chase Burns is starting for Wake Forest, and he's elite. The only thing that concerns me is, like, how long do you got me? But I'm still going under 12.5.
All right, under 12.5. My second one, going to the Big Ten tournament, Michigan and Illinois. I just don't think those teams play a lot of offense or there's going to be a lot of offense. I'm going under in that one again. The total's 14. So Michigan, Illinois, I'm going under 14. Illinois likely could be a bid stealing situation. If they don't win the conference tournament, they're going to be in. So pulling for Illinois, but I'm going to go under 14 in that game.
North Carolina, Wilmington, they're playing the College of Charleston. Wilmington had a pretty famous upset at the box in 03 or 04 when they beat Tulane. That was fun. We love the Seahawks. We'll go with the Seahawks, minus $1.25 on the money line.
All right, Wilmington money line. What you got, Mincy, your second one?
I'm going, Mississippi State, Tennessee. I'm going under 12.5 in that game. Mississippi State hadn't been hitting all week. They've scored 8 runs in 3 games in SEC. I'm going under 12.5 there.
All right, under 12.5 in State, Tennessee. My last one, I'm going to take Jay Johnson's old squad, Arizona on the money line against Stanford there in the Pac-12 tournament. So give me Arizona on the money line. Muse.
Same game, but I'm taking the Wildcats on the run line tonight, minus the $1.15.
Well, excuse me, Muse.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Arizona. Hey, man, they could play their way back into the host picture maybe if they win that tournament. So we'll see.
All right, Mincy?
Last game, I'm going. Look, I just think it's a big price. I'm taking Texas Tech plus 145 against Oklahoma State. I'm not really sure they'll win, but that's just plus $1.45 in the conference tournament. It's a good price.
Love it. All right, we'll see how it all shakes out. We got regional ball next week. We're looking forward to it. We'll talk to you then. Mincy, safe drive, man. We'll talk next week.
All right, thanks.
All right, be well. We're brought to you by Optimize, GeneratorPeople.com, GeneratorPeople.com. So I tell you every day that Optimize sells, services, and installs Generac automatic home standby generators. Something I really want to stress, though, is if you already have a generator and you're not currently having it serviced, their first come-out inspection service call will be complimentary. So call Optimize if you don't currently have a service plan on your generator. Optimize would love to help you out. GeneratorPeople.com, GeneratorPeople.com. We also saw earlier this week, I know you saw this as well, the prognosis for storm season was updated this week, and they're projecting a more active than usual storm season. Prepare now. The worst, I've said this forever, the worst time to prepare is when there's a storm in the Gulf. So prepare now, because if there's a storm coming, you can't call Optimize and get a generator like that, because there's a lot of things that have to happen. You have to get permits to install a Generac automatic home standby generator. You have to get the power company to come out as well. There's a lot of things that have to happen. Optimize handles all of it, and they're the #1 Generac dealer in our state. Nobody sells more Generac automatic home standby generators than Optimize, because it's all they do. They're not an HVAC company that also sells generators. They're not an alarm company that also sells generators. Not an electrical company that also sells generators. All they do is sell, service, and install Generac automatic home standby generators, and they service the entire 1012 corridor. So from Lake Charles to Slidell, anywhere in between, they can come to you. It's Optimize. GeneratorPeople.com, GeneratorPeople.com. All right, we appreciate Mincy for being there with us. We've talked plenty of baseball. We'll get to some more. We'll get to your questions for Theriot. When we come back, though, I do want to get your take. I gave a very impassioned take in hour one on the NCAA lawsuit settlement. For those that missed it, as plainly as I can say it, this clears the way for colleges to pay their athletes. I'm not talking about room and board. I'm not talking about cost of attendance. Revenue share with their student athletes. I gave you my thoughts on it. I want to hear Theriot's, a guy who was a student athlete at one point. I want to hear his thoughts on it. We'll get to that next here on AFR.
AFR.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Cash Money Records taking over for the 99 in the 2000s.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Big shout out to Don Juan. I think this Memorial Day weekend, I'll probably light up a nice, fine, premium cigar from Don Juan's. Where I always go when I stock I got a little box humidor at my house. I don't always smoke cigars, not every day sort of thing, but holidays, special events, whatever. Whiskey and wine, love to smoke on a cigar. Probably do that this weekend. Get on by Don Juan there in Town Center. The bar itself, and of course the retail shop next door. Earlier today, this is massive news. I mean, I don't think this is hyperbole. This is legitimate. This is a transformative day in the history of intercollegiate athletics and one of the most transformative days in the history of sports. For more than 100 years, the NCAA and college athletics have operated under the the guise of amateurism. And today, the NCAA and the House settled their lawsuit, and it opened the door for athletic departments to pay their student athletes via a rev share. This isn't going to be a salary deal where there's collective bargaining and things like that. They're just going to share in the revenue with the student athletes. In hour number 1, I gave my 15-minute dissertation on the whole thing. You can catch that on demand, AFR On Demand, presented by Brett Golf. I think Paulie's going to get it up on the 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. If you just want that clip, we'll put it on all the social media. If you want my opinion on it, you can get it. But you played college baseball. Now, baseball is a non-revenue sport. Places like LSU break even or maybe turn a small profit in baseball, but that's an outlier.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the few that does. You saw the news today. What do you think?
Look, I mean, the fact that you're having billions of dollars generated through college athletics, which is different than 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 80 years ago. The business has changed. It is a business. It's a real business. You've got TV deals and merch and all this stuff there's a lot of money that's made. I think back at the NCAA college football game, and how many things. I mean, those games were sold. I can remember when MLB Network and MLB The Show came out, and just the difference in my licensing check from when it was out and when it wasn't was substantial, and there was.
Can you elaborate?
Oh, man, it was $80,000 a year difference in our licensing check, 80 to 100 different. Just from MLB The Show.
Just from the video game.
Then MLB Network the following year, and then so it bumped up again. That's even share throughout everybody gets the same amount of money there.
So Derek Jeter, Ryan Theriot,
same amount.
Both shortstops. One's in New York, and you all got the same
amount. Yeah. And so it's a substantial amount of money from a merch standpoint, from a video game and a TV rights standpoint. I mean, it's a ton of money. Now, there's not nearly as many major league players as there is Division I college athletes, so obviously that number would be different. But look, my thought is this, and it has nothing to do with the dollars. It has everything to do with the game itself. Little League baseball, it didn't matter how many hits you got or you just wanted to go play and wanted to win the game. When the game rained out, you cried because you were so excited to go play the game. High school, same thing. You're playing with your brothers. You love these guys. Some of the best memories of my life, still some of my best friends. All we cared about was winning the game. And it was pure and it was fun and we loved our coaches. College was a little bit more of a business, but I was playing for my hometown team and a team that I grew up loving and wanting to play for. And we literally, Matt, after every practice would pray that we would have the ability to get to Omaha and win a national championship for LSU and for Baton Rouge. It was all centered around winning, had nothing to do with a paycheck every 2 weeks. And then I got to pro ball and all that changed. And then baseball for me turned very selfish in a sense where it didn't matter if we won or lost. All that mattered was your personal stats. And could you level up and get paid more? Could you level up and get paid more? Could you get to the big leagues? Could you go from A-ball to AA to AAA, and so on and so forth?
Just one question. Was it the same? Was it that way just in the minors? Because I understand, because you're right, in the minors, it's more about getting to the pros. It's not about winning or losing in the minors. Was it that way in the major leagues as well?
Absolutely. I mean, there were times where we would get to the playoffs and your salary stops getting paid when the season stops. And so when the playoffs start, you get a rev share of attendance and concession sales of that game. Yeah. And so the first round of the playoffs, you may get.
So your salary is 160. Your salary divided by 160.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. And so the playoffs is different. So there would be guys that would take a pay cut to play in the playoffs. They would actually, they wouldn't make as much money to win the World Series. So you would see dudes not playing quite as hard. They just really didn't care. They were playing for less. You know what I'm saying? So to answer your question, in the big leagues, yeah, it was very similar. It was a selfish, and you had to be that way. The teams that aren't that way are the teams that win. It's not the most talented teams, and it's very difficult to mimic that. I would hate to see that set up or that happen in collegiate sports. So if it's a pay scale across the board where everybody gets the same amount of money,
then it's great. I think it's awesome. I think you're seeing a fair practice, and the labor's making money, the owners are making money, and it's perfect. But if you start to have guys, your starting quarterback gets paid more than your third string quarterback or your backup quarterback, and then you throw transfer portal in there, and can certain schools pay more than other schools because they have more money? You're creating professional sports in amateur sports, and it's not about the money for me. For me, it's about the fun of the game. I coached high school baseball the last few years. I had a blast. I gave my time to go coach young kids in high school baseball, and it was so much fun. It was fun. It wasn't financially rewarding. It wasn't, it was what baseball was supposed to be. And I told my wife that I'll coach as long as I can coach because I'm enjoying the game again. And it's been so long since it was actually fun. I just don't want the fun to go away.
Yeah. The one, and thank you for the perspective. One of the counterpoints that I can hear like blaring is, I think you're gonna have athletes who play for the reasons you talk about still. And there's going to be people who are motivated by other things. And that's okay. Like, there are people right now, there are young men on college football teams that or in the NFL or MLB that don't love playing football or baseball. It's a means to an end.
Absolutely.
They're elite athletes, and they have a skill set to be able to make life-changing money. And good for them.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's just that everybody's circumstance is unique to them. And yes, there can be commonalities, but who am I to say that if you're a guy, I'll never forget this. I've told this story before on the air. I'll tell it again here. It just popped into my mind. So Kevin Minter, who you might remember was a linebacker at LSU, and Kevin was an All-American in 2011. He was incredible. And Kevin interned with us. We had an intern program, and during the summers for a lot of years, LSU football players would come intern with us, and some of them actually tried and did well, and some of them would show up the first day and never show up again. But Kevin was awesome, and Kevin was from Georgia, and I remember talking to him when he made the decision to go pro, and he left LSU early, and he said, "I watched my mom struggle her whole life. I now have the opportunity to make sure that never happens again."
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying Kevin didn't love football. Kevin loved football. But like, I got goosebumps even thinking about it. But it's like, you never know what someone's going through. And so if that's the thing that this person has that motivates him, who am I to say that's wrong?
No, you're not.
So that's where I come back to the whole thing. The adults that push back on this rev share or paying student athletes, and they scream about tuition and room and board and all that stuff, it's just such a misguided approach. In 1950, maybe that was agreeable when coaches were making $20,000 a year and it wasn't big business. But I'll reiterate, the adults in the room screwed it up for everybody. If that's your approach, if that's your motivation, the adults screwed it up. The ones that started the seat licenses and the suites and the bowl games and the new television contracts and adding an SEC championship game and taking the schedule from 10 to 11 to 12, not because you wanted to see better games, because you're adding another gate.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all of that, they found ways to continue monetizing and scaling, which is what good business people should do. But if that's what you're going to do, it's patently absurd to say we're going to grow. We are going to exponentially grow revenue over 2 decades and give none of it to the people that are who people actually come to see.
Sure.
So yes, there should be a fair and equitable system whereby the student athletes get something for that. So I don't know how that's going to be structured. Now, the $2.8 billion that they're sharing, they've apparently come up with some algorithm that's going to weight the impact, like the value of every individual student athlete from 2016 to present day. So like Ross Dellinger told us this yesterday. He's like, for example, Trevor Lawrence, for example, might be worth $500K. Don't know, but might be. Well, over 10 years, they're going to pay him $500K. So he'd get $50K a year for 10 years. And they'll use that algorithm to determine every student athlete what they get from 2016 through the present day. So, I mean, there's that. But the bigger, that's less of a consideration. than what you alluded to, which is the future. So if it's $20 million and LSU and every school is going to rev share $20 million a year, if that's the number, whatever it is, how do you divide that among all of your student athletes? I don't know. Is it even? Title IX, I think, has a big part of that. But can you really justify paying Will Campbell the same as a shot put thrower, right? I mean, they're not the same. So how do you weight that? I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do it. But there's no putting the genie back in the bottle. Like, you can't descale collegiate athletics. Like, you can't go back in college football and say, you know what we're going to do? We're going to get rid of all the suites. We're going to get rid of all the seat licenses. We're going to get rid of the conference championship games.
Yeah.
None of the games are going to be on TV anymore, right? Yeah. It's just, you buy your ticket, you can go see them.
Yeah, read it in the paper tomorrow.
Read about it in the paper.
Yeah.
You can't go backwards.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you now proceed? And these are decisions that should have been made a quarter century ago or longer, but the mess has been made not by the student athletes standing up and raising their hands. The mess has been made by the adults in the room who continued to grow, who continued to scale, who allowed spending to get out of control on salaries and everything else. And finally, the student athletes stood up and said,
yeah, we're not doing it anymore.
No. Yep. And I salute them for it. All right, it's after further review. Glad to have you aboard with us. We're brought to you by Michelli Weighing and Measurement. Michelli.com. Did you ever get in touch with them?
No, I need to call them.
Okay. You need it for T3, right?
I do.
Because with T3, y'all have a bunch of aggregates and stuff like rocks.
we need the big scales.
Big scales like to weigh rocks and what else do you
Trucks.
Sand?
Truck.
Oh, trucks.
Yeah.
So like you put the rocks or sand in a truck and you have to weigh the truck to see what they got. Yeah, makes sense. Well, you know where you get that scale? Michelli. Our nation's largest distributor of scales. It's Michelli Weighing and Measurement. Of course, they're now in 12 different states, 30 offices across a dozen different states right now. It's pretty incredible to see their growth, and they just continue growing. Every conversation I have, it's all about how do we become an international company, but locally based right here in Louisiana. Their Harahan office, and they continue to grow and scale. It's amazing to watch. They're a great success story, and I love telling you about them every single day. Go to the website, Michelli.com. They still love to do business with a handshake. I've told you before. Went to a baseball game a couple years ago up here at LSU with Joel and Sean when they were coming up. They left early in the day, made a plan to stop along the way from Harahan to Baton Rouge at all of their customers to go visit them in person. I mean, that's just something to be said for doing business still face-to-face and seeing your customers, your clients, and shaking hands. And they still do that despite their amazing growth over 8 decades now. Mm-hmm. It's Michelli Weighing and Measurement, Michelli.com, Michelli.com. Okay, y'all, it's after further review. They're in the bottom of the 7th there in Hoover. Carolina leading Kentucky 6-4. Carolina's batting there in the bottom of the 4th with a runner on and one out. The winner of this game plays LSU on Saturday in Hoover. And, of course, whoever wins that game advances to Sunday's championship game. So if this goes final, which I don't suspect it will, but if it does go final before we're off air, we'll obviously share that with you. But keep an eye on this. We'll talk a little more LSU baseball as we continue. And we'll get to Ask Ryan in about 15 minutes so you can start lining up your questions. Glad you're with us here on AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Clegg's Nursery. 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. Siga near Airline, LA16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, Garden Center in Greenwell Springs. Have the Theriots been by lately?
No, but that time's coming.
Time's coming.
Yep.
We got to go back. For Mother's Day, I tell you this every year, we go buy a bunch of flowers, and Erica wants that we go plant all in the outdoor space by the pool and everything, the pots and the flower beds. And when we had that awful weather a couple of weeks ago, one of the dipldenias, which is Erica's favorite, they're great. They are great, by the way. It's tropical. Look at you making.
I love the dipldenias.
Well, they're tropical and they're beautiful and they thrive in our climate. So like it doesn't matter that it's a bajillion degrees. They do great and they're beautiful out by a pool. Anyway, one of them just got absolutely shredded by that wind. When we had like 80 mile an hour wind gusts, so we need to go buy another one to replace it. So anyway, we'll get by Clegg's. Buy local, shop local. They've been around for more than 60 years. Be sure to tell them Matt sent you in to Clegg's Nursery.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Power up your next project with John Deere Deals by Sunshine. Whether you're working hard or playing hard, our knowledgeable team will help you find the right product for you. Ask us about our amazing tractor package promotions. Learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner.
Bust down, still rocking the house. The front store that went nationwide. So yo, get up out your seat, and I'ma do it for all you nasty. Well, I think you know the rest. So yo, break it down, and we're gonna do it a little something like this.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
So are you committing to Parish Hat Party next week? So my idea is that when we'll find out Monday what LSU's regional draw is, and if they're playing Friday night or Saturday, whenever, like when we learn what time they're playing in regional play, we schedule the first Parish Hat Party. We go over to Pluckers. We eat
like
some
game
wings.
watch, whole thing?
Game watch, yeah. We eat some wings, drink some beers, invite people to come out, watch the game. We'll sling hats.
Yeah, I want to give hats away. I want to give maybe some merch away too. We'll see.
Okay. What other merch do we have?
Well, I don't know. I mean, if you give me enough lead time, I can go get some.
Okay.
You know, I kind of want to give a roof away too, though.
You know what? Scratch that. Because next Saturday, June 1, that's our UFC 302 watch party at the Sportsbook at L'Auberge. So maybe, I got my weeks confused.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. This could be an opportunity.
Oh, you want to do it there?
I mean, we could do both.
Okay.
When's the game? So when's UFC?
It'll be Saturday night at 7 o'clock.
And when's the game? It'll probably be Saturday night at 7 o'clock. Too.
Well, I don't know. So regionals are either Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So we don't know when they're going to be.
That's supers.
So the regionals are all. Oh, so the regionals are all Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Necessary.
You got it Monday if necessary. So regionals are all Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then the Monday if necessary. So they'll start on Friday. Do they you just don't know if they're going to play the first game or the second game, and then where they play. So we just don't know what the start time will be. And then based on if they win or lose, we'll determine what time they play Saturday. So it's hard to tell.
It's difficult, but it could be great. It could work out awesome.
Like if they play, let's say they play. You're saying like if both are on at the same time?
No. What if the game started, a couple hours before UFC started, or
if they played baseball Saturday at like 2 o'clock and the UFC event starts at 7.
I mean, yeah.
It's a long day for
It's
your boy.
It's a long day, but
I'll do it if Muse brings the first future first Mrs. Matthew Musso.
oh, whoa, the Bachelor's on.
Oh yeah, they went out last week.
Whoa, timeout.
Yes, and it went well. They're getting married.
Muse, how did it go? Tell me about it.
Chill out. You're not getting married.
Where'd y'all go? What'd y'all do?
The future first Mrs. Matthew Musso.
I want to hear about it.
Yeah.
What'd you guys do?
We went to Top Golf.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you guys eat? Did you have some drinks?
Yeah, we had drinks. We didn't eat. Yeah, no, didn't eat. We had drinks.
Okay.
Hit some golf balls.
How can she hit a golf ball?
She played golf in college. She can hit a golf ball really well.
Oh,
how about it?
She's a keeper.
That's my point.
She's a keeper, Muse.
So that's what I keep saying. She is the future first Mrs. Matthew Octavius Musso.
What
third.
in the world?
Yep.
Octavius?
So what's next?
Hey,
I mean,
don't look at me. Ask Marilyn Monroe Musso.
That's not her name.
what's next? Like, I mean, are we gonna?
Yeah, no, we're still going. It is, still going.
When
for sure.
was the last time you communicated?
Yeah,
last night.
Text or call?
Text.
Has there been a phone call?
I knew you were going to ask this.
And the answer is no. Huh?
The answer is no. But
does this blow your mind? They arranged their date via text. They didn't speak words until they met in person, and since then they haven't spoken words, only text.
Is she cute?
Yeah, she's cute.
Does that blow your mind?
Yeah.
I get it.
No, it doesn't, because that's how.
I get it. It's how it is now. But like, I can't fathom not.
Yeah.
Hi.
No, that's how it is, bro.
I know.
Do you guys
I get it.
Snapchat? Do you Snapchat?
No.
No. So, like, when are you going to
Does
see
she
her?
have your IG?
Yes.
When are you going to see her again?
She's out of town this weekend, so when she gets back.
Where'd she go?
Okay.
Beach.
See, I said, why didn't he get an invite?
You know,
serious?
if he just popped up, like, let's say
I like
you just
that
call.
idea.
Let's say, hey,
No.
I'm in town. You want to go grab some food or a drink?
I'm not going to do that.
You wanna
That'd be
beat
kind
me
of
at golf?
That'd be
I'm not
creepy.
gonna
That'd
do
be
that.
creepy. Yeah, that's true. My bad.
That's aggressive.
See,
That's
here's
a
what-
bad aggressive.
Here's what I like a lot. So they went to Top Golf, and then like later that night, she texted to say like, "Hey, great time" or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So I like very much that she didn't play the whole how soon is too soon to reach out, whatever. She had a good time. Like, what game are we playing here, right? Let's go. She likes him. He likes her. Blossoming romance, and I'm telling you, she's going to be the first Mrs. Matthew Musso.
Unless you scare her off with all this marriage talk when we've been out on one date.
Hey, if I didn't scare her off by just cold emailing her a couple
That's
of weeks
fair.
ago and saying, hey, and she went through the bachelor process
That's
once already, I think she's good.
And finished second.
I think she gets it. See, I don't even like to say
I don't
it
like
that way.
saying
She
that.
was the first runner-up.
I don't like saying that.
I know. I don't like that either. And it because
Well, she was second according to Musso. You picked her first.
Jeez.
No, it's not even.
He's gonna run her off.
I knew that man. It's not even that. I just think
I mean, it's
sometimes.
true,
I
though.
think sometimes the people that know you best know you better than you know yourself. I think, and I don't know. I just.
You think you know me that well, huh?
Yeah.
That's
I
interesting.
sit in a room with you every day for 3 hours.
Yeah.
I would submit to you that Paul and I spend more time physically with you than anyone outside of your parents in your life. Like, think about this. Muse, just the cumulative hours. We sit in this room together for 15 hours
a
week. Muse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got him. Figured out.
Like, I know your middle name, Matthew D'Artagnan Musso.
What?
Who knew
That's
that?
not even a real name.
That's one of the Three Musketeers.
Good name.
What?
D'Artagnan.
D'Artagnan! Come on, Muse.
Yeah, I had no clue, man.
What does she look like? I'm interested. Do you have a picture?
Hey, how about I just show you a picture in the break?
Yeah, we're not putting her picture.
No, I don't want to
not
put her on the
no,
thing.
no,
I'm just saying
no.
for me. I'm interested about this. I like
He'll
this.
show you.
I'll show you a picture in the break.
Not a boy, Muse. Okay, good.
Do we want to say her name? We don't have to.
I don't know.
No, don't say her name. That's fine. I'm totally respectful. That's well beyond like the real life part of this. I will completely respect. The fun part of it all being something we did on air. We'll continue to advance to let people know how it's going. I think that's
Yeah, I mean the fact that she
people are
played golf
interested.
at Florida State in
wasn't
2016, like
It's not-
no, we can't figure that out.
Wasn't Florida State.
You know,
It wasn't Florida State.
Yeah.
I know where it was, but I'm not going to say.
Yeah.
I will completely respect her privacy. But I'm very excited.
I am too.
Because we're going to have, I can't wait for the wedding.
Oh, my God.
What are you going to name your son?
Oh, my God.
What about Ryan? Is that on the table?
No, I don't think so. I don't know.
Alex.
Alex is a good name.
Good name.
That's a good name.
Alex Musso.
Alex.
It actually rolls off the tongue a little bit there. Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
I set you up with your first future wife.
Pick the name.
I picked the name of your kid. Just keep coming back, Muse. Just keep coming back, man.
Do you have twins in your family?
No.
Does she?
I don't know.
I'd love a couple twins. A couple Musso twins.
How about Ryan and Alex?
That'd be great.
Be good. Matt and Ryan. Matt Jr. But really, everybody would know it was after me.
I don't want a junior.
Okay. Well, then don't name after you. Name after me.
It's fair.
Matt and Ryan.
That's fair.
Nah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway.
Had a convo today with Leighton over at Supper Club, Chef Leighton. Y'all should go to Supper Club next date. Y'all should do a dinner date and go to Supper Club. What?
What? No,
go to Supper Club.
It's a second date.
What's wrong with that? It's an awesome spot.
It is an awesome
he's got
spot.
a point. That's setting the bar.
But
No, you're
that's
good. Top golf, and then next is
Not saying I wouldn't go to Supper Club. It's a great spot, absolutely. But I mean, second date.
Just go hang at the bar.
I think it might be a little too much early.
Go hang at the bar. Anyway, I was talking to Chef Leighton today. They're rolling out a few new menu items. June 4th.
Okay.
And I'm gonna get a little sneak peek. We'll sample. We'll sampling. I cannot wait to share. The other thing too, I would always encourage you, even on a day like today, for last minute reservations to call. I know the perception is, man, you have to wait months to get in. And there are reservations that book weeks and months in advance. Yes, that is true. But you always have cancellations. Like I will tell you, I was talking to Chef Leighton today at 3. No, not 3. It was at after we had lunch. So it was like 1:30.
Yeah,
like 1:30, close to 2 o'clock. He's like, we did have some cancellation nights. So there's like a few tables that opened up for tonight. So it's all like, even if you want to go tonight to Supper Club, give them a ring and see if a slot opened up tonight and tomorrow. So they had a few cancellations. So, and you can always just walk in because it's open seating at the bar. So if you want to go to Supper Club, experience what we've been talking about. Told me a great story. A couple went in for their anniversary. They'd heard us talking about Supper Club. They almost couldn't believe they hadn't been there because it's about to celebrate its 2-year anniversary since they opened. Couple went in, had an anniversary dinner, had steaks and wine, had a great time. They could not believe they hadn't been there. Stayed for about 3 hours. I mean, it is the place you go to celebrate. It's all the fun vibe. But the amazing part about Supper Club is as fun as it is, as chic and stylish and classy and awesome as it all is, as Vegas as it is, right? As big city as it is, the food is actually better than the ambiance and everything involved. The story around all the things that they've done to curate that menu, that a lot of which I've told you about, is stunning. So if you want to have an experience, even like where a lot of people are getting out of town for Memorial Day weekend, but if you're staying here and you go to Supper Club, hang for 2-3 hours, have a long dinner. I mean, it feels like you left Baton Rouge for a night and went to Vegas or New York or Paris. I mean, that's what it's like going to supper clubs. Check it out, supperclubbtr.com, supperclubbtr.com, and you might just see
Mr. and Mrs.
and the future first Mrs. Matthew Musso.
You got to quit with the first thing, too, man.
Well, I know you rogue.
Only. If
so
and
you
when.
are getting married.
If
Nice,
and when.
nice, see? Only. You heard him? You heard him.
Could he be the spokesman for the Red Box?
Matthew Claude Musso. Do you, Matthew Claude Musso, take this woman?
I'm actually mad that Claude fits and sounds good there. Actually.
Why are you mad about that? Claude's a great name.
I mean, it's because it's just not my name. But the other ones you've said have just been so outlandish.
Matthew Tobias Musso.
Like that. See? Like that would never happen.
We'll wrap up with Ask Ryan next. Stay here.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan, Injury Attorneys. Man, we appreciate Gordon so much for the opportunity he's given us to talk about him, his firm, his brand, the G Team, And, of course, Gordon Gives throughout all these many months that we have. I'm telling you, if you've been injured in an accident, you need representation. Don't go it alone. Do what injured people in our state have done for 3 decades. Get Gordon and get it done. Of course, you can go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com, or you can always call 888-8888, 888-8888, or go to getgordon.com. Also, always encourage you, man, especially on a weekend like this when you're talking about Memorial Day weekend, and it's a great opportunity to go check out GordonGives.com, which is the charitable arm of Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Matter of fact, if you go to the website, getgordon.com, and scroll down, you'll see the Gordon Gives link there as well. You can learn about all the ways that Gordon gives back to our communities. You know what to do. GetGordon.com, get Gordon, and get it done.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Down the stretch we come, final segment here on a Friday edition of AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Get on by Don Juan this weekend, load up, stock your stash, your home humidor, or just hang out at the cigar bar itself. Have a cocktail, a craft beer, smoke a cigar, enjoy a little time off over at Don Juan Cigar Bar. All right, ask Ryan to wrap up the show. Get your questions in. You can ask Theriot anything about anything. Email us, tweet us, text us. Corey, ask Ryan, what are the odds Musso marries this chick?
Probably about, I'm gonna say 80-20 right here. 80-20.
That they get married?
Yeah.
Oh, it's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's 100%. Ask Ryan, how about the call to end the White Sox-Orioles game last night?
The
I don't know what happened.
So I think it was the infield fly. They called infield fly. Shortstop ran up to catch it, like barely tapped the runner. And then they called the runner out too, that he interfered, but he didn't do anything. It was a terrible call.
Oh, Burke Harriman from the original Harriman's Florist. Yes, flowers back on the table for Matthew Octavius Musso. So did you get flowers the first time?
Yeah, we appreciate Burke, man.
Burke, original Harriman, shout out.
Burke hooked us up.
The original Harriman, shout out. Glenn Laurie asked Ryan, ribeye or T-bone?
I like T-bone.
Bone-in ribeye. Ask Ryan, Eric Gocho, ask Ryan, is soft shell crab your favorite kind of crab?
I do enjoy a good soft shell crab. The one at Louisiana Lanyap is good. Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It is.
Little Lanyap. Like Eric, I've told you this before, Erica's favorite meal in the world is their fish in the papillote. Like, she kills someone and then goes to death row and you get a final meal. Like, that's her final meal.
That's what it is.
You know what I mean? But she likes to get it to go and eat it at home.
I'm not like a crab. I don't love crabs though. Like
Really?
Jonna loves crab. Loves.
Why don't you love crabs?
It's just hard to get to the meat, and it's not a whole lot. I mean, I don't dislike crabs.
You're talking about bull crabs.
Bull crabs. Bull crabs.
See, but you're eating soft shell crab.
Oh, soft shell's great.
He's
yeah.
going to town. You lump crab meat on top of a steak or something like
Oh,
that.
that's fabulous.
I mean, crab meat in a soup or stew or
Yeah.
something like gumbo. Oh man. Yeah. You know the other thing too about bull crabs? You always end up like cutting yourself. I mean, they're sharp. I mean,
Do you-
like
yeah, no, you're
scratching
gonna penetrate the skin
It's
somewhere.
it's a lot of work to get. Y'all have an awesome Memorial Day weekend. Be safe. We're taking Monday off, so we'll be back on Tuesday. Muse Pauly, I appreciate it. For Ryan, I'm Matt. Have a great Memorial Day weekend, y'all. We'll see you Tuesday at 3. Go Tigers.
AFR.
Getting on down the road. Remind you about Evermore. I tell you all the time. Keep my bottle of Evermore down here that I drink. This is just the one on the set here as a prop. I mean, it's an actual bottle of Evermore, but it's unopened. It just sits there. This is what I drink every day. Like this morning, went to the store, bought the 4-pack of the 64 ounces and a 12-pack of the 20-ounce bottles. Our family, we've completely converted to Evermore. It's delicious. We were at lunch today. You can attest, I did not drink tap water at lunch today.
You did not.
I've completely converted. This is natural artesian water, and it's a Louisiana product. If you're going to buy bottled water, buy a healthier option than other bottled waters that have additives and things taken out of them. Go read the labels. Buy a healthier option that's alkaline by nature, and it's a Louisiana product. You're supporting a Louisiana company that has national distribution. It's Evermore. EVAMOR. Evermore.com. Available at great local retailers.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business